I have to grind in this game, so I'm just gonna do that while we watch the Met. The Met. The Met. The Met. And then we have the wrestling draft tonight. Hi, Tink. Just dropping in super fast and saying congrats on 1 year. I'm so happy for you. Thank you. Yes, thank you everybody so much for coming back to my streams. Before the Met starts, I just want to say thank you to everybody that's come out to my streams for the entire year. I want to say thank you to people that have started to hit 3 years of subscription on my channel, 2 years of subscription, anything larger than a year, even 6 months, 2 months, 1 month. Like, seriously, thank you all for subscribing, making this my full-time job. I appreciate you guys. Thank you for supporting the podcast. Thank you for supporting the YouTube channel, the Twitter, the Instagram, and especially here on Twitch as 1 year of Twitch partner today. And I can't believe we've hit 1 year. And thank you guys so much. I appreciate and love all of you. Hello, house music. Is this gonna show the red carpet, or is this gonna be like a dedication thing? Should we go to another live stream? Is there like a live stream of the floor show? Is this the right one? This is with Vogue. I think we might have to go to another one. If anyone has a link, you can send it. This should be the red carpet. Okay. So if you're unaware, the dress code is Karl Lagerfeld. Oh, okay.
Welcome to the 2023 Met Gala. I am Lala Anthony here on the steps of the Metropolitan Museum of Art.
Hey, girl.
Right in New York City. Tonight we honor the life and legacy of one of the most influential and prolific designers in the history of fashion, Karl Lagerfeld, and celebrate the Costume Institute's newest exhibition, Karl Lagerfeld, A Line of Beauty, which opens to the public.
Arsenicki's at the Met?
I am joined now
You're
by
lying.
my co-host for the evening,
Like
Saturday Night
at
Live's
the
Chloe
Met
Ryan
Gala.
and writer and
Shut
fashion's
up.
best friend Derek Blasberg. I must say you two look absolutely terrific tonight.
Y'all better get the cam on my bestie.
I hope we get to meet some of the people you are impersonating on SNL
yes,
tonight.
Yes, as do I, as long as they don't get mad at me.
You should definitely impersonate as many people to
No way!
possible tonight.
Okay, we shall see.
I'm
Lala,
looking
any
this up.
advice
You
for
know,
us
I'll tell
first-time
you that it
hosts?
just goes by so much faster than you think. So let's make sure we soak it all in and just have fun.
You are looking gorgeous, by the way.
Thank you, thank you. This is Sergio Hudson. Definitely put it together. He did an incredible job. So shout out to Sergio. And
Oh,
tonight's
wow.
dress code is in honor of
They're
Karl.
really
So I wanna
there.
make sure my look was on point.
Oh my
Derek, I know
god.
you will tell me the real deal. Did I hit the mark or
I'm about to cry for them. That is
Lala,
so
you knocked it out of
amazing.
the park. Carl liked monochromatic. He liked pearls, and I'm sure he would have loved you.
Aw, I love
What is
you
this
so
fruitcake?
much,
What is
so
happening?
much. Thank you.
And how about me?
Oh, well, of course, Chloe. You look perfect. And I don't know if you got. Where's your
Oh,
purse? Oh, here. Look,
perfect.
y'all.
Yes, we have our little Choupette.
People were wondering if Choupette would be here tonight, and you know what? Here he is.
Here he is.
Meeting them.
Them. They are in purse form. I am in Wiederhof tonight. My dear friend Jackson Wiederhof. The look is inspired by Karl Lagerfeld couture for Chanel in 2004.
What is
And what about
happening
the
on this red
jewelry?
carpet?
Oh, a little boogery.
Lala clocking the misgender. You better.
And you look very, very dashing, I must
So I
say.
just can't.
I just wanted to point out I have a camellia pin. You're going to see a lot of camellias tonight. Coco Chanel loved this flower, and this version was designed by Karl Lagerfeld and give it to me. It's kind of a disco, metallic, techno mesh version of a camellia.
Woo!
Is that
Very,
so?
very dashing, I must say. And I'm excited for more camellias. Hey, Lala, who do you have there?
I am joined now by Vogue's global editor-director,
Ooh.
Condé Nast Chief Content Officer, and longtime Met Gala co-chair, Dame Anna Wintour, who I
Miss Anna
love so
Wintour and the
much.
bob.
Thank
You know
so
she
much
loves a
for
bob, Miss
just
Anna
putting together an
Wintour.
extraordinary evening for all of us.
Thank you. Thank you for being here. And it's a very emotional night for me. I love Carl so much, and it's just wonderful to see so many people who are turning out to honor him and give him the recognition that he so deserves.
Absolutely. Now, what can you tell us about the exhibition that we're here to celebrate? So many people.
I don't
are
think she's
excited
ever
to
had a
see.
different haircut.
Well, the exhibition really examines themes that run through Carl's work. And Andrew Bolton, the curator, the chief curator at the Costume Institute, told me he looked at 10,000 objects to whittle it down to just 200. So, and then, I mean, each object, as Andrew describes them, is more beautiful than the next. And you really see...
Oh, wait, can you guys
65
spam the
years
chat?
how Carl just was
I don't think
so
the chat's
creative,
appearing on the
so
screen.
visionary, invented so many things, and at the same time, I think
It's
was
not. Hold on.
intrinsically the chicest designer that you can ever imagine.
Absolutely. So with everything going on and so many beautiful moments, what are you looking forward to the most tonight? Or how do you even pick one thing?
Well, I always love to see what everybody is wearing on the carpet, and I've been lucky enough to have a sneak preview of what some of our guests are wearing, and I'm just so grateful that they've made such an incredible effort, and I know how thrilled Carl would have been.
Absolutely. And I just want to thank you for helping me with my dress tonight. And I feel so good. And thank you so much. And I hope you have an incredible evening.
And have fun yourself. Thank you.
Thank you. See you later. Okay. Thank you. Anna was here.
The K.
Beautiful, amazing. And the evening is going to continue. It's going to be epic.
Work.
Wow, Emma Chamberlain has arrived.
Oh, she looks good.
Internet's little sister.
Yes.
I'm into it.
We love you, Emma. She will also
I like the
be
baby blue.
interviewing
Oh, the
guests
inches in the
on Vogue's
back. Okay,
YouTube.
Emma.
Watch those interviews on Vogue's YouTube channel, and hopefully we will be able to check in with her later this evening.
I like that. I like that color scheme.
This year's Met Gala is co-chaired by Michaela Cole, Penelope Cruz, Roger Federer, and Dua Lipa, and they'll be walking the carpet alongside more of the most notable figures
Dua
in the
Peep.
worlds of film, music,
Yes.
sports, politics, and of course fashion.
We will be interviewing them right here, and you can help us. Join the conversation by using the hashtag #MetGala. Share your questions and comments on social
Join the
media, and we will
conversation.
feature our favorites right
Hashtag
here on
Met
the
Gala.
show.
Do you think they'll
We'll
use
also
my
be conducting
question?
Viewer polls throughout the evening, so make sure you check those out.
Could you imagine?
You can find it.
I am here with Nicole Kidman, who also just shut down the Met Gala carpet as you were coming up. I was just like, you look amazing, and this dress looks familiar. Can you tell us about the dress?
So this dress was worn in the Chanel No. 5 commercial that
Who is
Baz
this?
Luhrmann and I did with Carl, who concocted this out of his head.
It's
I have the
gorgeous.
sketches when he was drawing it.
Wow.
And then we fitted it. I remember fitting it repeatedly.
Nicole
And I
Kidman.
think my deep, deep sort of love of
Oh,
Carl
work,
came
I
through
guess.
this time together because I knew
Hold
him
on.
very, very well. And so to be able to honor him and wear this dress now for Chanel and show, I suppose, the way these couture gowns last and the
Isn't that
exquisiteness, and
incredible?
if you take
Wow.
care of them and love them, they are timeless.
Absolutely. And
To
I
be
hear-
able to wear the same thing
Thing.
20 years later and it still holds,
That
because
is
it's
amazing.
a whimsy. There's whimsy to it.
Right.
And it's so light as a feather, and it's
Wow.
unbelievably comfortable, but it's all handmade. It's couture, and
You
that's
look
what it should be.
absolutely gorgeous,
So,
Nicole.
I'm-
Absolutely gorgeous. And I hear so many people tell stories about working with Carl and how amazing it was and how kind and how patient. What was your experience like working with Carl?
He'd make me laugh.
He was funny.
so funny, yeah. And I also just, I think right now to celebrate the history of fashion and the way in which we need the beautiful, beautiful work that goes into these clothes to
Absolutely.
be honored and remembered. That's what I love.
Absolutely.
Okay.
I think
Because
everyone's
it's an
in
art form.
for an incredible evening. with
Yeah,
Just
and now we
honoring
go and have
Carl
fun.
being- Now you get to have fun, and you
Yeah.
look absolutely.
Oh, I like that they talk
stunning.
about
Thank you
fashion as
so
an art
much.
form, but you guys can't say anything about the drag bands?
Hi,
Okay.
It's nice to see you.
Just
You're
saying.
Staring like a proud, proud husband. I love that. You guys have an incredible evening.
Thank you
All
so
right,
much.
See you. Thank you.
Thank you,
Bye. All
Vogue.
right. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you. See you. Okay. Bye.
And we have a great group down here, none other than the supermodel, Naomi Campbell.
Hello.
And the director of
Okay,
the, Met, the guy in charge tonight, Max Hollein, and his wife, how are you?
I'm not living for this
Naomi, I
dress
don't
on
wanna put you on the
Naomi.
spot, but how many Met Galas have you been to?
This is my 16th Met Gala.
Sweet 16.
Wow, a sophomore in high school.
And Max, have you ever met Karl Lagerfeld? I know that's who we're celebrating tonight.
I actually met him when I was 12 years old.
I wish it was just the pink chiffon over it.
My father,
I feel like I would have liked it more if it was just the pink.
And my fondest memory is they got booed off the stage because it was so radical.
It just started, so we haven't seen a lot of people. This is like the second or third dress. We saw Emma Chamberlain,
Pulled off the stage.
Yeah.
Nicole Kidman, and now Naomi. Who is this bitch in the gold? Who is that?
It was at the Vienna Burgtheater, the main theater place in Vienna, so it's been
That's
a special
incredible.
thing.
Wow.
Good story.
Naomi, you must have known Karl too.
I met Karl Lagerfeld when I was 16 years old, and he put me in every chameleon that he could
And tell us.
find in the studio.
It's my turn to walk on the Met Gala. What would you walk to the Met Gala with? What would you wear?
At the time, and I loved Karl. He treated me like, you know, how would you wear it? Oh, you like saris this year? Okay, let's do a Chanel sari.
You'd wear a snapback.
Tapped into.
You would wear the
each of
Thugonomics
and I
drip.
think tonight, from what I've seen so far, everyone looks their individual Chanel-esque style.
Thank you. That is beautiful. Thank you guys.
Where's
so
my
much
greeting?
for
Hello,
being here.
Maddie.
We will see you inside.
Excited to be here. Good to meet you, Naomi. Yes, thank you. Great to see you. Yeah, thank you.
Thank
Good
you
to see you.
guys.
Thank you.
So this is a
Oh,
moment when
work.
Ice Spice is here at the
Work.
Met Gala. This is your first one. You hit the carpet. You shut it down. Let's talk about how it feels to be at your first Met Gala.
Okay, the winner so far. This is my fave so far.
You know, I was like really nervous, like approaching the carpet.
Okay, let's talk about the dress code. The dress code by Ivy Winters. The dress code tonight is a dedication to Karl Lagerfeld because unfortunately he passed away, and the exhibit is about Karl Lagerfeld to this year. But
You did it. Okay.
oh, she said look back at it. Okay, I live.
You look
So
stunning.
I'm not
what do
gonna
you
go
expect
by
from
if it fits the theme like I usually do over the years. I'm gonna go if it's cute or if it's not cute, because like that's like really open to interpretation, honestly. I don't think a lot of people are gonna be like, yeah, Karl Lagerfeld inspired my dress. Like I feel like it's just gonna be like pretty dresses like normal. So we can just like be like, is it cute, is it not cute, etc., etc.
Yeah, see you inside, okay? All right, baby. Okay.
Oh my god, Kelly Mantle spotted. The music? Like, why do I feel like I'm... Okay.
As everyone knows, this year's Met Gala celebrates the opening of the Costume Institute's newest exhibition, Karl Lagerfeld: A Line of Beauty. It looks back at the designer's career and process.
Across 7 decades, Karl put a stamp on some of Europe's most celebrated fashion houses: Balmain, Pateau, Chloe, Fendi, and of course, Chanel.
Chanel.
Channel.
He also launched his own label in 1984 and was the first designer to work with H&M, which ushered in an entire new age of the designer collaboration, and that was in 2004.
Yes, and I had a coveted H&M item. You heard it here. Karl is probably the most famous designer since Coco Chanel herself and has left an indelible mark on the history of fashion.
Can you guys shut up and go to the carpet? I hate when they do this. Like, girl, nobody wants to hear you guys talk. Just cut to the carpet. If you want me to pay attention, you could book Arson Nikki for this gig. You don't have to have all these nobodies talk to me. There has to be another stream. This stream is booger. Anybody got a link?
Chloe, he's more romantic. Karl Lagerfeld is more minimalist, and I suppose that Chanel more of his historicist and postmodernist sensibilities. But I think that what the show, I hope, shows is that themes transcended all of those houses, and he would revisit themes again and again. And there's one particular silhouette that he would return to again and again and again, which we call the Schlemerian silhouette, which was a very broad shoulder, a nipped-in waist, and wider hips. And I think that the areas of the body that he was obsessed with were the shoulders, and also just at the top of the ribcage. He always always wanted to make it as narrow as possible, which meant a high armhole. I think that was partly to do with youthfulness. I think he felt that having this very narrow ribcage gave him a sort of sense of youthfulness.
Guys, it's... Oh, the mics aren't on. Your mic isn't on.
I'm joined now by one of this evening's co-chair, the utterly fabulous, gorgeous, I mean, you shut it down. Michaela Cole is here with me. Now, I'm going to go out there and say this is one of my favorite looks of the night.
Yeah, it looks hot.
Thank you. I'm going to say you look absolutely stunning.
I love you. You look stunning.
Oh my
Tell
God,
us about
she's
this look.
beat. Like, oh.
Tell us about this.
Gorge.
And we can see the homages to Carl here in
Wow.
the chain, in the lips, and the clutching of the pearls.
Wow.
It's a collaboration between my stylist
Wow.
and Daniel. I'm just like a total...
I love her hair too, like everything.
I'm here to serve, and I'm here to honor
It's like the
their
dress
creative
speaks for
vision.
itself. It doesn't need like...
I wanted to have a lot of gold.
I feel like if the hair was down or like something, it would, yeah.
There's 130,000 crystals.
130,000 crystals,
26,000 mixed stones. And over 3,800 hours of work to make this dress.
Wow.
Yeah.
That has to be an honor to wear something. This is a work of art. This is an absolute work of art. Now, Michaela, you were on the cover of Vogue last
Hi,
November.
Dylan.
So now you're here at the Met Gala. So what was it like preparing for tonight?
Oh, you know what? I felt a strange sense of peace because yesterday I was at the pre-dinner and Anna said something. I'd been wondering, you know, like, why was I asked to coach it? You know, I couldn't help but have the question.
I gotta find another stream of just like the carpet. Hold on.
What I like about you is that you are unafraid to be yourself. And Carl, her dear friend, fashion icon, she felt his journey was to try and learn to be unafraid of being himself.
Wow.
And so she felt
Thank you, MSK.
And suddenly I just felt very much at ease about being here. I'm just out here.
Oh my God.
For appreciating that and giving me such lovely opportunities, really.
Yes, amazing. And you and I haven't met before.
Everyone's showing up on like the hotel, you know, like that spot that they walk in through the like
Pleasure, I like you. You got great
the
energy.
doors.
Yeah, man. Take care.
There's a live stream of that, but I don't know if it would be as HD as this one. I'm just afraid they're gonna miss some people that we're gonna care about. Who is that? I'm not wearing my glasses. Should I get my glasses? Who is that? I like the purple eyeshadow. That's a pretty dress. I'm with it.
All right, so I am here with someone who needs no introduction, the beautiful Giselle. How are you?
I'm good. How are
Girl, I'm not wearing my glasses. You need to give an
So
introduction.
you've worked with Carl numerous times over Chanel campaigns over the years. So do you have a favorite? Is it so hard to choose?
You know, it's hard to choose. I just like love the memories with him and just the times together. And he was a gentleman and a wonderful man, always so kind. And yeah.
And thank you for the follow and the subscription. Thank you. The theme is homage to Karl
I had
Lagerfeld.
no shoes, bare feet. The whole campaign of Chanel with bare feet around town. That was pretty funny. I mean, people were like, "What are you doing bare feet around
Like,
Paris?
where are
It's
your
so
shoes?"
dirty." I'm
Right.
like, you know, I'm just doing Chanel, walking around bare feet. But it was fun. He was a lovely man. So I'm happy to be here to honor him.
Absolutely. And what
Girl,
was
take the
that?
jacket off.
The last time it was.
Who is this man? Who is that?
There was a Chanel No. 5 party in New York, and I think that was
Every man is gonna use the theme as an excuse to come in a lazy outfit.
He
Down.
was doing a show, and I was doing Chanel No. 5 at the time, and he invited me to go. And yeah, I think that was the last time I saw him in Cuba.
Absolutely. Now tell us about your look. Stunning, stunning, stunning.
So, this dress, I'll show you,
So gorgeous.
is vintage Chanel. I wore this dress, I think 2016, no, 2006 or 2007.
Wow.
In an editorial with him, I wore the same dress.
Wow.
So when I was picking a dress, I was like, which dress that is going to be the dress? And I thought,
This
is
one.
the one. So,
Well, you made a great choice.
thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you
Happy
so
hiking.
much for stopping by, and I hope you have an incredible evening and you look fabulous.
Thank you so much.
The coat is part of the dress. I'm not with it.
Bye, guys. Take care.
It gives me Party City feather boa. Love you, Giselle, but no.
We are joined here by one of my favorite people in the world, Keke Palmer. and
You
the
better work my pussy out, Keke
I
Palmer.
assume
That's mother.
Yes?
That's mother.
Oh my God! Can we see the train?
The body? Wait, isn't she pregnant? Did she have her kid?
You want to go and do your thing? I'm like, I'm just gonna explain it for you.
Okay, well, when I saw Keke, I saw, you know, Hollywood royalty, black Hollywood royalty. So I immediately
She
thought
had her
about
kid,
it.
and she looks like that. Her body.
Around the same time,
Shit.
50s, early 60s, when Carl was at Pet 2.
The hair too,
Like
just
a nod to that era with the silhouette. And then, of course, my favorite era of Chanel with Carl is the early 90s. So we really wanted to give a nod to that with the pastels and with the styling and, you know, all of that.
the
So
screaming.
it's
Who are they
fun,
screaming? Is
you know,
Nikki here?
visiting a lot of different eras.
It is breathtaking. I have to say.
She had her baby in February. Like,
I know.
wow, her body is right.
A little something for everybody. Now, you hosted last year. Do you have any tips for us?
Yeah.
Goofs. Literally just be goofy, because that's me. I have fun. Obviously, this event is incredible. It can be
Yeah, well, can we book Kiki to do this again? Because I don't like these other people.
Get this, just have fun. You make it easy for me.
And
I
you
can
made
do
it
that.
easy
I can
for
have fun
me.
with Chloe.
Yes.
Will you guys have fun tonight too?
Thank you.
Thank you for coming.
Enjoy.
Guys, who are these hosts? Like, no shade. Like, who are they? Luca, thank you so much for the raid. Who is in that pink? Who is that? Happy 1 year. Thank you. Yes, today is my 1 year partner anniversary. Also, TLDR, I'm not gonna be very nice to these celebrities. They're celebrities. They have no idea who I am, but also, like, it's the Met Gala, so you kind of need to be critical. So, no holds barred. But thank you so much. How was your stream?
Oh, want even more Met Gala coverage? Head over to Vogue.com where you can watch exclusive behind-the-scenes videos and vote on your favorite looks throughout the night.
Please, just do that, everybody.
Thanks. This guy, I can't. Who is in the pink gown? Show us the dress. Show us the dress. Show us the... Who is that? A little scoochy dress? Oh, I need to get my glasses for this, guys. I'm gonna go get my glasses.
All right, so I am joined now by the one and the only Dua Lipa is here with me. Now, this is your second Met Gala, correct?
This is my second Met Gala.
All right, so talk to me. What
Oh,
is
Dua
about- what
Peep.
is the difference between just attending and co-chairing this year? Because that is a huge responsibility.
It's a big responsibility and a big honor, and I feel very lucky that Anna asked me to do this, to honor Carl tonight and his legacy. And I mean, we've got some work to do inside.
Right. It's gonna be such an
but it's
exciting
going to be
night.
such an exciting, amazing experience, and I'm really, really looking forward to it.
I would love for you to tell me about your look and this necklace. Like,
Oh,
this is can we zoom in on that somehow? This is crazy. And what waist? What waist? And what waist? Tell me about the look.
So this dress is a very special dress. It's a 1992 fall bride dress, Chanel by Carl.
Wow.
Of course, and it's been on my mood boards forever. And when the
Dula
opportunity
Peep.
came, I was just like,
I-
is there any way
I
I can
can't.
find this dress? And the patrimony at Chanel was very kind and allowed me to borrow it for tonight.
Yeah, she looks amazing.
It's a big dream come true for me.
And can we
So
talk
I'm
about
very
the
happy.
necklace?
And the necklace, this
Oh
little
my
thing.
goodness.
This is a very special Tiffany necklace. It hasn't been seen before, so I feel
It's
excited to get to
unbelievable.
showcase it here today. And
Just the casual
they
jewelries.
pulled it out the vault for me.
It's so gorgeous.
So,
I'm not usually speechless,
it's
and I'm
shiny,
sitting here
shiny.
like, wow. Well, I hope you have an incredible evening and just enjoy all the moments. You look incredible.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Dua Lipa. Thank you. Have a great evening.
Thank you, and
all
you.
right, of course. All right, so I am here with supermodel extraordinaire, and like to call her the Met Gala showstopper. Shut the carpet down, because you know how we do.
Wow.
Knock is in the
Is that a
building.
veil?
She's here with me. So what's going on?
I made it up the stairs.
You made up the stairs.
Made it
And look,
upstairs.
no. First. You guys have to see this. Like this is different. This is
Wow.
next level right here.
It's tight, girl.
Tell me who you wearing.
I'm wearing Cabo Garang, and we were inspired by the 1993 Chanel Couture show.
Oh my god, it's like glasses, but like there's a veil over the glasses.
Currently on the cover of Vogue right now. Let's talk about that.
I'm on the cover of Vogue, and we
that's
shot.
like the biggest thing in the world.
Major issue.
Major.
I'm on the cover of Vogue. We shot it in Paris.
Is it a short dress? Who is that in the outfit right there?
Inside the Grand Palais.
He looks
took
hot.
over for a little bit, but it was an amazing experience, and I'm just blessed to be here, girl.
Well, you look gorgeous. Tonight's gonna be fun. What are you looking forward to the most?
She's sewn in. Is it? It's a short dress, but has something underneath. I want to see what's underneath it.
Watching
I'm like,
everyone
I can
come
see
on
everything
down.
from up here. I can see it all. It's gonna be an incredible evening.
Who is
We're gonna have
that?
fun. We're gonna dance. We're gonna do all of that. So
Oh, is that one of the Hadids?
Love you,
That was
sis.
one of the Hadids.
Oh, we're up. And Chloe, we got the coach crew.
Wow.
Designer, Stuart Viviers.
Hi.
They look good.
I'm sorry. Maya Penn. And this is Gabriella. How are you guys?
Great.
We're stoked. We had such a party on the way here. We were Brittany.
Okay, no shade. Like, I don't know who these people are either, but like,
Well,
this
I have
interviewer
to
needs
ask
to
about these
know.
little
He just like
princes.
messed
I'm
up her
blown
name in front of
away.
her. Like, what are you doing?
These are super, super special. These are a part of Coachtopia, which is a circular design concept that Stuart has come up with, and they have elements of recycled pieces of material from the Met.
Yes,
Museum.
literally, the coach team went through the trash of the Met Museum, took plastic water bottles, tickets, maps, everything you can imagine.
Aluminum foil.
Transport it into something incredible.
Both on the gowns and the bags.
The trash of the Met, like
Yes.
the actual garbage?
Yeah, inside the Met, outside
Wow.
near the food
You know, some
cart.
people say one man's trash is another man's treasure.
Yeah.
Or
But
him.
One man's trash is another woman's Met Gala look.
You actually, these are like ticket stubs and the maps from the.
And let me guess, they're like a bunch of fucking money.
Yeah, we wanted to do something completely different.
So you took trash from the Met and you're gonna resell it for like what? Like $3,000?
From waste.
And I see a lot of monochromatic, I assume,
Good one.
nod to Mr. Lagerfeld.
Yeah. That's our biggest nod. I mean, of course, the innovation that he explored in materials inspired our approach, but this was the most obvious nod.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Well, thank you guys so much. We can't wait to see you inside.
See you inside at the bar?
I
Maybe?
think so, yes,
Drinks?
Girl, nobody is going to
Drinks, a
talk
little
with y'all at the
break.
bar. I would be like, oh, I'm gonna get a drink, you're gonna pay for it, and then I would walk away. Would you rock that bag? No, I would throw it away where it came from. It came from the trash, it belongs in the trash.
This year's exhibition honors the life and legacy of visionary designer Karl Lagerfeld. Let's take a look.
So they do have to pay to get into the Met. It's $50K a ticket, right? I knew they had to pay because it's a charity event, right?
Do you want to enter the Forgotten Hall?
But don't you have to be invited or something? Or can you just, like, anybody can go? Not them upping the price because James Charles got on the carpet last year or whatever year it was. They said, absolutely not. We're not doing this again.
I am thrilled to introduce everyone to the one and only Michael Kors.
Hello, everyone.
And his date for the evening, Emily Blunt. How are you guys?
His date?
We're great.
Now, how are
You mean his
feeling?
guests?
Are you
Because no,
one
he's not fooling
stomach
anybody.
food
He's
away
not
from your
straight.
goal weight?
I wish I was, because I was telling Michael last night I ate a pizza, almost forget, because I thought, well, I'm like covered up, so I'll be all right. And then I tried to skinny pants.
35 months. Thanks. Where is she? Hello.
Tell us about this
Yeah,
look. I
it's
assume
looking pretty
Michael is
skinny pant to me.
The man responsible for this.
Well, I think it was all about dichotomy tonight. I think Carl loved romantic, but he also loved something a little edgy and nasty. And isn't that Emily Blunt? That says it all, right? She's romantic and nasty. No, and I just love the idea of throwing it off with the.
Why is Michael so
overskirt
orange?
with
He's
the
always
really narrow,
orange.
skinny cigarette
On Project
trousers.
Runway, he used to be that
And then, of
orange
course,
too.
It's the night for flowers.
Yeah.
They're not ready to say and his beard.
Absolutely. And white shirts.
Well, yeah, she has
And
a
white
she has a
shirts.
husband, but like
And the play.
Signature white shirt, but like a romantic version of it.
Right.
Nasty and romantic.
Nasty and romantic.
Michael, I'm sure you knew Karl Lagerfeld.
I did indeed.
Your past must have crashed.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You know, it's whenever I have a day where I think to myself, I have too much to do today. I'm too busy. What do I have to do next? I always kind of remember Carl, who was just this machine of creativity, energy, humor, all of it together, and stayed curious.
Yeah.
You know, curiosity is the coolest thing in the world.
Definitely. Do you have a favorite memory of Carl?
Oh my God, yes. Once he actually said to me, he said, "You're always so tan. Why are you always so tan?" And I said, "Look at us next to each other. Oh my God."
Like a ghost.
Well, he said, "Why are you always so tan?" I said, "Well, the minute I have a day off, I run to the sun."
Do you?
I always do. And he looked at me and he said, "Obviously, I don't."
You
So
mean
I was
you
like,
run
"Okay,
to
I
the
got that."
salon,
But,
not
I
the
mean,
sun,
he had
girl.
basically-
That is
He
nothing
had such a
short
great-
of the sun. That is a
and really
tanning machine if I've seen one.
just singular.
You are fooling nobody, Mr. Designer Kors.
Shades, a lot of black and white,
Good
boots,
one-liners,
boots.
Good quips.
Oh,
Zany
boots,
quips. Yes,
boots.
Derek, you're getting it.
Chloe and I saw the exhibit this morning, and you guys are going to love it. So thank you so much for popping in. And
We
saying
can't
hi.
wait. We can't wait. Great to see you guys.
Great to see you.
He has no idea who those people are.
We all want a pizza. Okay.
This guy is hot. He looks amazing. Oh, Giselle's living for that little dress, that little scoochy $5 feather boa she got on Amazon.
I am joined now by the fabulous, the beautiful, the gorgeous Penelope Cruz is here with me, one of the co-chairs of tonight's event. Now, Penelope, I know
She's
that
good.
you knew Carl personally, and he dressed you often over the years, and you attended so many of his shows. What does it mean to you to be here tonight and be a co-chair of the evening?
A huge honor. I met Carl in 1999.
Happy partner anniversary. Thank
One of
you.
the biggest fans of Chanel and Carl in this world. I know a lot about every single collection he ever did. So when he offered me to become an ambassador for the house and start doing campaigns for him, that sometimes he was photographing, like we started to spend more time together and became good friends. And I loved him so much. He was really special.
So special. Now,
I'm not
what is your
wowed.
favorite look
It's
that
very
Carl ever
safe.
created for you?
Wow. There was a blue couture dress that he changed, that he transformed for me, and then he would do the drawings and put my face. And I think one of those times I watched him drawing me with the dress, and that was like a really specific dream.
The
come
theme
true.
is homage to Karl
I don't have
Lagerfeld,
pictures of that moment, but it's like recorded.
a really famous designer that passed away because the exhibit is dedicated to
A lot
him.
of hard work. That I respect him for that, you know.
I wanna see
obviously he's
Arseniki.
a genius mind, but also very, very generous and very hard worker. And everybody that knew him loved him.
Loved him.
He treated everyone really, really kindly, and
I'm so glad tonight is all about him.
It's
Everyone
all
is so
about
honored to
him.
be here. So before I let you go, tell me about your look tonight, because you just shut down the whole carpet. I saw you from up here. I was like, wow, wow, wow.
Thank you. So this is Chanel Couture 1988.
Wow.
Spring summer. And when they told me,
Help me, Mr. Svarog.
do one from the patrimony, like whichever one you choose, and that was not easy to choose. I
No,
was
of
like
course
1
not.
month going back and forth, studying every single collection that he ever did for Chanel. But I really fell in love with this.
I want to see one queen at this gala.
Thank you so much
Someone
for
should come
coming.
with a message.
All right, thank you, Penelope.
Like,
all right.
what was that? Am I like literally blind that I can't see? Like I feel like I should be able to see some of these outfits or like these people and recognize them.
Now let's check in with Emma Chamberlain.
Oh. Oh.
Oh my God! No way!
You are the only one who got to sneak in a baby.
I know. I got a +1. Don't tell anybody.
No one gets a +1 to the Met. Everyone needs to know that, except for you.
You know what? I'm so happy. This is the first time I'm also like sharing my news, so it's very special.
Congratulations! This is so amazing. Tell me about you and baby's look.
Well, her name is Emma Chamberlain.
Jonathan from Loewe, the incredible designer at Loewe, he and I kind of
This whole event looks like a Pinterest board. Real.
this past collection inspired by the 1983 Carl Trump Luel dress that Anna has worn many times. It's so iconic.
Yep.
And so we were inspired by that moment, and we wanted to.
What is this camera angle?
In our own way, and so you have the blur.
Can we back it up? Can we like? Why is Emma like a little peanut in the corner?
Love that. Thank you. Do you have any tips for styling a pregnant belly? Like, what are your styling tips for that? Because I'm just trying to think about my future and what I'm gonna do. I don't know.
Well, I was.
You're gonna get pregnant?
During the pandemic, so I did
What?
it with my sweatpants. So this is the first time I'm actually on a red carpet, pregnant, and it's a super special moment. Also, like kind of vulnerable. I was like,
Totally.
I don't know how to style a belly, so this is my first time, and you can't imagine a more special moment.
So special. I love you. I can't wait to babysit you.
I guess she walked the red carpet though in a different dress, did she not?
I will pay because I need to learn how to handle babies.
I love you.
Don't actually give your baby to me. I love you.
So gorgeous.
You look so amazing. I'll see you in there. And congratulations times a million.
Thank you.
It must be pre-recorded. That's Kiki right there.
Here with the talented, fabulous, gorgeous Gwendolyn Christie. We've been having our own little party over here. We've been having so much fun.
I've been enjoying it. You gave me some advice I wish I'd had at the bottom of the stairs. I'm going to be desperately trying to employ it through the rest of the evening.
That's our secret. We don't tell everybody
Yeah,
that.
no
Okay.
one.
Now, Gwendolyn, you are such a student and fan of fashion. So, what do you
Who
think
is this?
of when you think of Carl?
Karl Lagerfeld.
I feel like I say that
was-
to everybody.
is
Who are
rightfully an
you?
icon. He was a
Girl, I
Renaissance
only know
man. He had
wrestlers nowadays. Like, I don't give a shit about any of these celebrities.
of design.
If I see
Because
Alexa
his career
Bliss or someone on the red carpet, I'll be like,
elements
yes!
of artistry,
That's it.
Literature, art, history. He was such an intellectual. He was interested in literature. He was interested in philosophy. And he took the rigor of discipline that he applied to his craft into all areas of
Girl, I'd gag.
intellectual acumen. And I just think he was an astounding designer, and that's.
I mean, it's not
why
far
he
off.
was
She could
enjoyed
arrive.
for so long. And I feel
She's on a break.
Very lucky to be here.
Just kidding. Who would invite Charlotte to their table after they bought the table? I don't know.
It's such an iconic place. What a
I feel like if it's anyone, it'll be Alexa because she's friends with Freddie Prinze Jr. and
incredible Kim Jones.
I love Kim Jones.
Sarah Michelle Gellar. So like Alexa could end up at the Met Gala. Girl, I'd gag.
So it is an enduring friendship. But again, what I love about Kim is that he's so dedicated to his craft. He's always spontaneous and shows such innovation in what he does. But he's also working.
Oh, she was in Game of Thrones and Wednesday. Two shows I've never seen, nor do I ever want to watch.
Alongside the flamboyant nature of his imagination. And he's great.
Absolutely.
And a lol.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, thank you so much, and I hope you have an incredible evening. And I enjoyed our talk so much.
I loved it so
All
much,
right,
darling.
I will see you inside.
Enjoy the night.
All right, bye.
Thank you,
darling.
Emperor.
Bye. Thank you.
Okay, that hair is everything. What is that black thing on the bottom of the dress? Who is that? Who is this with the hair? I kind of live. Oh.
We have the honor and pleasure of being joined now by Tommy and Dee Hilfiger. You guys look incredible.
Tommy, I love this look. Can I be so bold as to observe that this is inspired by Karl Lagerfeld?
Inspired by Karl.
Was that
This is
really?
vintage Chanel fabric, but the shirt was given to.
See, this is what I wanted to see. I wanted to see like the men dressed up as Karl Lagerfeld. Like I actually like the gray hair, slick back, sunglasses, tie, suit.
Dressed in an outfit like this every day, but certainly had a valet because it's a shirt.
Where's
that
RuPaul?
buttons in the back,
Really?
with a separate collar.
Was this the first time Dee helped zip you up tonight?
I did not help him get into it. I would have no idea what to do, but we had a whole team that helped us get put together tonight. It took a small village.
Who is who just arrived? Why are we yelling?
Take inspiration from Chanel and Karl Lagerfeld and develop Dee's gown and her look.
I want to see someone in a gray hair unit. I want to see someone in a cinched like tuxedo with flared pants that are like a train with a silver unit and a giant tie. Go camp.
He went back to her archive and took everything that was from her favorite collections and made them relevant for today. And that was very inspirational. But we became partners with him when we bought the Karl Lagerfeld brand in...
All right, let's wrap up this conversation. Wrap it up.
Chloe and I went and had a look at the exhibition today, and it's pretty incredible.
We haven't seen it yet.
Oh.
You
we're
guys
gonna
are
let
going
you guys
to
get
love
to
it.
Thank you so much for stopping by.
Thank you.
Nice to see you.
We'll see you guys. Bye.
Lovely.
We'll see you at the bar.
I'm not wowed.
All right, so I'm here with Sydney Sweeney.
Hi.
You look absolutely stunning.
I didn't even recognize her.
We were just talking about how just crazy this carpet is and all the fabulous that comes along with it.
Girl, this dress would be so fucking good if she didn't have that weird black appendage on the bottom.
Thank you. It feels like a glove.
You feel good though.
I do.
And you look so good. I know currently you're filming season 3 of Euphoria, which is me
We
and my
haven't.
sons.
We haven't started yet.
Oh, you haven't
but I'm
started
very
yet.
excited because I miss all the girls, and I think Maud is here tonight, so I can't wait to see her.
Okay, so you haven't started yet, but it's coming.
It's coming.
She looks good. Bronzed. I didn't even recognize her with the hair and the bronzer. Like, she's tanned up, girl.
Tonight mean to you, especially honoring such an icon such as Karl.
I mean, it's such a beautiful evening seeing everyone just appreciate and honor such incredible looks. People look absolutely stunning. And it's just an honor and a privilege to be here.
Absolutely. And is there anyone you're looking forward to seeing tonight? We were just talking about everybody we're seeing.
Honestly, I'm just excited to just meet new people and have a really good night.
Absolutely. Well, I hope you have an incredible night.
Thank you. You too.
inside.
Notice how they haven't panned the camera down because they know the bottom of that dress is a fucking mess. I'm so mad about that dress because I actually would have lived for it if she didn't have that ugly bottom of the dress. Okay, she's giving everything. That dress is actually really pretty. I don't like the top of it though. That's just me. Para me.
Get ready, fashion fans. We have two of the most fashionable people here tonight. Glenn Close and the designer Erdem, who's responsible for this incredible...
Okay, see, I live for this.
Really have to see this train. It's unbelievable. Now, so elegant. Now, Glenn, I'm a huge fan. 2 of your most famous films, Dangerous Liaison and Fatal Attraction, have recently been adapted to television shows. Have you watched either of them?
No. Isn't that terrible?
No.
You're a busy woman.
I mean, people wonder, and I mean, frankly, I haven't had time.
She literally DJIF. She's winning the IDGIF war.
I also have a very personal relationship to that material, so I'm a little bit nervous to watch it. But, you know, I think I will, because I want to know what they did and how they told the story.
Dangerous Liaisons was such an incredible film because of all the costumes.
Yes.
How is that as an actress to use style as a character?
Ooh. It's everything. It's everything. I have kept all my costumes. I have a costume collection of over 800 pieces that is in the Indiana University because I could not say goodbye to them. They are such a part of my career, and it helps you build a character. And to see Erdem and be with Erdem and building this and seeing what he was creating, yes, they said, what character are you doing? And I'm thinking, maybe a kinder Madame de Merteuil.
A nicer one.
And you're my young lover.
Exactly.
Young lover, tell us about
Yes,
Ben's
young
look
lover,
tonight.
young lover. Do tell.
Well, it's an homage to Carl, where it's the amazing body of work that Karl Lagerfeld created. The dress, the starting point was actually from his first Chanel Couture collection, and then the cape actually inspired by the finale look from Chanel fall 1999 that Devon Aoki wore. And then, of course, the collar and the cuffs are an homage to Carl himself. So
Paris.
there you go.
Très chic and très French and très Carl. Well,
Thank you.
we can't wait to see you guys inside, and it was lovely seeing you at the exhibit
Thanks
today.
so much. Thank you.
Clear a path.
We have to clear a path.
I have 2 4 stars.
Shucks.
Hey, how are you?
Oh wow, I live for that. The pasties, everything.
Here with Margot Robbie, and when I say the
Margot
world
Robbie!
Barbie no,
She is everything.
With their picture with the Barbie logo in the background. Were you surprised at all by the intensity and excitement around this?
Hi,
I have
Matt.
to say I was. I knew it was going to be exciting for everyone.
She
I
is
didn't
so
really
fucking
realize
pretty,
the
dude. I
kind of
can't.
energy it would have behind it, and we're still, you know, we come out July 21st, so it's
exactly.
It's still a little while away. I'm
She's
amazed
goals
everyone's
down.
This excited already.
Everyone is so
We still have
excited.
so much more to show you.
Can't wait, can't wait. Now, Margot, tell us about your look tonight.
I'm wearing Chanel. This is actually
Gorgeous.
this dress was worn by Cindy Crawford in 1993.
Oh, wow.
Oh.
They remade it for me, and it's obviously a Carl design, and I feel really
No,
great
same.
in
I'm
it,
really
actually.
excited about the Barbie movie.
Absolutely stunning.
Thank you.
So, Margot, what does a night like tonight mean to you, honoring such an icon and a legend like Karl Lagerfeld?
It's incredible. Obviously, the Met's always an exciting night, but I had the great privilege of getting to know Karl to an extent. I was the last Chanel ambassador that he picked, actually.
Wow.
Yeah, so
Wow.
I, you know,
What an honor.
Yeah, it is an honor.
Is that Doja as a cat?
That they're honoring him.
Oh, everything!
Glad you came to say hi. I hope you have the most fabulous.
Oh my god!
You looking?
You fucking better work my pussy out, Huntress mother eat.
Thank you so much.
Wow.
Have a great evening. Thank you. Barbie movie coming soon, everybody.
I love you, Margaret Robbie, please. If I could do anything in the world to be you or be your friend. She has a prosthetic nose, too. Wow. Wow! Like, everybody else go home. Like, I love that Doja has fun. Like, every event, remember when she did that red thing with the rhinestones? Like, Doja has fun. Bring that shit back. All these other people in boring ass fucking basic white dresses, like, please.
Runway Designs is your favorite.
2014 Supermarket, 2008's Carousel, 2012's Underwater World, or 2019's Pool Party.
Head to at Vogue Magazine on Twitter.
This guy's never getting hired for anything after this.
Castaway.
Are you feeling nervous, overwhelmed, excited? Where is your head at?
I was really excited until I got off my car. Like,
like 2 minutes ago.
That's what happens to me. It's like, I think I'm fine, I think I'm cool, and then I get out and I'm like, whoa, this is a lot. So you're about to walk on the carpet. What do you think happens after that? What do you think happens when you get inside?
That's a really good question because I see people wearing these crazy dresses. I'm so curious to see how they sit down.
Right? I love
She's
this.
everything.
This is so effortless and
I
gorgeous.
like the choker.
Who is this? Who's wearing?
I'm wearing Chanel from the 90s runway.
I love the dress cutout top. That's everything. That's so pretty.
The one that Carl did. So I'm just like so happy.
I mean, congratulations.
Doja in the back.
You look
Hey, girl!
beautiful. This is amazing. I mean, I'll tell you this. Everyone's ambushing us.
I know.
You are gonna have the best time in there. Do you have like one thing that's like a mystery? Like, what's like the biggest mystery to you? Other than-
Doja smoking?
Of all the Met Gala, like, what's the one thing that you're like, I just can't wait to
I love her!
I don't know. That was a bad question. But like,
I would say literally everything because
you just don't know. It's your first.
Doja sees the camera. She knows. She said, let me give it for the cameras.
You're gonna have so much fun.
She's everything. I love her.
So happy to meet you. It's such a pleasure. I can't even express how amazing you look and how amazing you just are. We'll hang out in there.
Yeah, that's great.
Oh, is that Kim? Boot.
Hi, Elle Fanning. My goodness, you look like a dream and a vision. Tell us about.
And you look a fucking mess, girl.
I am at the Cartier table tonight. Yes.
And you should be outside, girl. What the fuck are we wearing?
Necklace, which is special. It's this one that Grace Kelly wore in the royal portrait. I don't think the exact, but it's from that time.
Let's say it's the exact. You and Grace Kelly is everything.
And then Vivian Westwood designed my outfit, Andreas, and it's based on, I met Carl when I was 13, and my first fashion show ever was 2011 fall, Chanel Haute Couture.
This is me just making up stories to get attention.
He selected me to be someone to be in the little black
Guys,
jacket.
I met Karl Lagerfeld too. I did. We met at TwitchCon 2013 because he was there.
I saw them and wanted to see them, and I was 13 and young, and I had a little white dress on. And he kept my dress on, and all he put on me was a daisy crown. And so I'm like, this is how Carl wants me to look, and here it is.
Fresh
It's
as a daisy.
Bridal, like Chanel Bride.
Yes.
Come on.
Yes.
Yeah.
Nothing better, right?
Oh.
Wow.
We talked about so much royalty. Grace Kelly. The
That dress looks too young on her. I don't think it would look good on anybody. It looks terrible.
May 12th. What can you tell us about truly one of my favorite shows?
Oh my gosh, it's only in like couple weeks, a week and a half or
Less.
so. Yeah,
11 days.
Yeah, that's great. That's right. Yeah, May 1st. Doing math on the carpet. I'm so excited. It's season 3, and it's my favorite season yet. It's like there's a lot of spoilers. There's huge twists. I want it to come out so I can just talk about what happens. But I love this show so much, and it's
What
so fun to
show?
do, and I can't wait for everyone to see it.
Well, you look beautiful tonight.
Well, you are a vision, and I can't wait to find you for a little drink.
What are you gonna do with these flowers? Like later, could you leave those?
I'm gonna throw. Maybe you'll catch them.
Oh,
well,
do it, and you'll
Yes.
propose.
No.
There you go.
Who is that? Stop the music. Still don't know who that is, but okay. I like hate that they start at the bottom and then I'm like,
family has joined me up here. Now, I know you guys were at the bottom of
Mother.
the carpet, but it was important for you to stop here. Kiki and Sergio, who designed both of our dresses tonight. So it was important that we linked up. The family had to link up. Now, what I did say was, if my body could look like this after having a baby, then somebody out there might have a chance. Somebody might have a chance. You look gorgeous. Sergio, I'm so grateful for you designing these amazing dresses for the both of us. Kiki, let me ask you, what
They
do
look
you
hot.
to the most here tonight?
Well, it was you because I had to make sure that Sergio.
Kiki is so fucking pretty. Like, honestly, the winner for me right now. Like, I love the hair, the off-the-shoulder dress, the body. Like,
good to be back.
Everything.
What it's given, honey. How's the baby? Baby is good. He at home, Mr. Mama. I know. It gets hard when you gotta leave him. Yep, he was with us all day. He was with us all day. All right, we're gonna do some parties afterwards. We're gonna be good.
Exactly. That's what he said. He said we gotta link up with you after to figure out what we got.
All right, so we're gonna do something. Well, I will see you guys later, and thanks for stopping by. Love you, and thank you so much for everything.
They probably got wild in the building.
Love ya.
Do you think Jenna Ortega is gonna be on the carpet? There's no way she's not gonna be. She's like one of the most popular stars right now. Pretty sure she's there. Work. This makes me feel insecure. I look so terrible compared to these people. After stream today, I'm ordering extensions. This has inspired me.
All right, so here with one of my faves for sure. Usher is officially in the building, fresh off the stage in Vegas. Your amazing residency.
Not
that
this Winnie the
everyone
Pooh
is
music.
talking about. Talk to me about that, Usher. How are you able to just outdo yourself time and time and time again?
Well, I mean, the fans deciding to come see me in Vegas is part of it. The
Ooh.
other half is, an amazing catalog of songs. And then the other side is just really enjoying myself in Vegas and doing things that I've always wanted to do.
Absolutely. Now, tonight we are honoring Karl Lagerfeld. It's a line of beauty. Talk to me about your look tonight.
Well, first and foremost,
Real.
designer Bianca Saunders.
Yes.
I put this amazing ensemble together for myself and her.
I love that. And you
She
look
looks good.
gorgeous. What an incredible suit you put together for Usher tonight. You look great.
Yeah, thank you very much.
All right.
The idea was to honor, but also to still have a little individuality in it.
And you brought your swag to it for
Better
sure.
know this, baby. You
Exactly.
better
You
know
brought
what
your
we
swag
doing.
to it for sure. Tonight's gonna be incredible. We're gonna have a lot of fun. I'm glad you came over to say hi. I'll see you guys
Absolutely.
inside, okay?
I'll see you then.
All right, have a great evening. See you later. All right, for sure.
We are joined now by Vera Wang and Lily Collins with these incredible trains.
Vera Wang and Lily Collins.
Scroll down.
To do some clever positioning.
Yes,
Can
you have to see
what's
the
happening
Carl.
down here?
Can we get it in the
Carl
camera?
action.
Not quite. There we are.
There we go.
Not the
Vera, you famously
cutouts
knew
of the
Carl.
construction
Tell us a little
paper
bit about what these
letters.
outfits that you designed resemble.
I think they're absolutely both obviously homages to him and it's enormous talent. And I think while we very much want to respect all the work he did everywhere at Chanel, at Chloe, at Fendi, it was really a moment for us, for Lily and I, to translate our own version of how perhaps we could wear Carl with respect and joy and privilege to be here for him tonight.
I'll be right back. I'm gonna go to the
Now, it
bathroom.
is very French tonight, and I have felt like you on the carpet trying to pronounce Pateau, Bama, oh my God, Guillaume. Do you have any advice for this?
I think you're killing it. I think, you know what? I think it is. It's about the commitment.
Right.
It's the commitment to whatever you think it is, and then you just sell it.
Just sell it.
That's what I think you have to do. And you're I mean, you're totally selling it. Yeah.
Right, I'm gonna tell them tonight before bed.
You can say Choupette.
Choupette, yes. Choupette is all about.
What are you guys excited to see tonight in the exhibit? We've already seen it.
We'd like to see the exhibit. I know, that's what I'm dying to see it. I know. Yes.
Well, get in there, guys.
Get in
Thanks
there.
for saying
Can't wait
hi.
to see you guys.
We'll see you inside.
Merci.
Merci. Oh, look, you're already. Oh, you
Oh, we're doing it.
All right, Miss Wang.
I am here with someone who needs no introduction whatsoever. Doja Cat has officially stepped into the Met Ball. You are here. All right, tell us about head to toe. I want to know everything.
This is Oscar de la Renta. And then my friend Melina did my prosthetics. Vanessa
Unbelievable.
Casillas. I got Sasha Livingston on the nails. And yeah, I'm very, very excited, and I love it.
So you told me this is your first Met Ball. We talked
is my
about
first
that.
Met.
So how does it feel? Like, are you nervous? Is it crazy? Because the first one is hectic.
It's really not bad.
Okay, you're right.
Normally it's kind of bad. I feel nice. I feel relaxed here. I like I don't know. Maybe it's the beige. I feel very calm.
You're in a good place.
Yeah, it's like very nice.
All right, so Doja, tell me
Organized.
on a night like tonight, what is something that you're really, really looking forward to?
I don't know because they don't tell you what's going to happen.
You don't have any information.
So I have no idea.
Right.
But I do hope to, have some good conversation.
Absolutely. See some cool people.
Yeah.
Have some fun.
Yeah.
Well, I'm so glad you came over to say
Thank
hi.
you.
I just want to say you look absolutely stunning. And I
Thank you so
love
much,
how you
so
are always you, no matter what. And
Thank
you know
you.
I support you through and
Thank
through.
you, thank you, thank you.
Absolutely. See you inside and have a great
See you
time.
inside.
Okay. Mwah. All right.
Have you ever wondered what it's like to work at Vogue? Or wanted to hear career advice directly from Anna Wintour and Edward Enninfel? You can do just that with Vogue Club, Vogue's new global membership.
Join today at VogueClub.com and get up close and personal with Vogue editors and an array of leading fashion industry insiders.
I'm here with the stunning Rachel Brosnahan, and I'm so happy we're both wearing Sergio Hudson today, and we were just saying how incredible he is, and the looks are so different and so fabulous. Tell me about your look.
Sergio had sent through some inspiration images from a Chloe show in the 90s.
Okay.
A lot of black mesh, a lot of embracing the nipple, and so here we are.
Absolutely. Well, you look fabulous.
Thank you
So,
very
Rachel,
much.
tell me, what does a night like tonight mean to you, especially honoring such a legend and an icon as Carl?
I mean, this is the kind of stuff you dream about
Right.
having the opportunity to attend.
Mhm.
And it's the only event that I've ever been to that is quite literally about wearable art. It's
Absolutely.
about honoring the art of design, and then we get to walk through the exhibit. I mean,
Which
it's
is so-
it's so special, and get to look around at
See
all
everyone.
these incredible looks. I've just
Faces.
been like all night long.
Absolutely. Well, you're in for a fabulous evening.
Thank you.
And I thank you for stopping by, and you look absolutely gorgeous.
You too.
Thank
Thank you
you.
for
Thank
saying
you,
hi.
Rachel. Of course.
It is a great honor of mine to be joined with Anne Hathaway. I'm at a loss of words and I'm drunk in your presence. You look stunning, and you recently became the face of Versace. How do you guys work together on these looks?
Oh, you're giving me too much credit. I just do what Donatella tells me to do. Very gratefully. Very gratefully. She sent me a sketch for this, and I just went, well, all right. But I do have to say, I work with an amazing team. My stylist, Erin Walsh, she always puts everything together. So it's really her that does the collaboration. I'm just a lucky girl.
I'm seeing a lot of Carl homages here. There's
Yes.
the tweed.
Yes.
I see a camellia like on my
Yes.
lapel, but also a little nod to Versace and the safety pins.
And yeah, absolutely. And I have to give a shout out to my hairstylist, Orlando Pita. He brought a camellia from a Versace show in the 90s.
Can we get that?
So
This is the first time we've seen a vintage hairpiece.
vintage hair
We've
piece.
seen some
All
vintage
right, I'm
Chanel
the first
pieces,
one.
but not a lot of vintage hair pieces.
Yeah.
Leave it to Anne Hathaway.
Well, Orlando Peter, definitely.
The two of you together.
That casual icon.
Yeah, yes.
But yeah, I think it's kind of this. It was meant to be sort of a marriage between Versace and Chanel.
The rings I'm noticing.
Yeah, these little things. They're just a couple of them.
Little things.
They're my wonderful, wonderful friends and family at Bulgari. They're great.
And when you came into the shot here, you said that there's a certain way that you can pose in this dress.
Yes, I did. You're gonna make me say it right now, aren't
Yes, I want to know. I want to know how does this dress make you feel?
Be honest, it's very hard not to laugh next to Chloe. Well, I'm gonna copy you. But here we go. But there's just something about this dress that makes you kind of want to hit it. You just kind of want to hit it. Get a little Rosalia going on in your head and just live in the fantasy. Did I do it right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, here we go.
Oh, I'll just leave, guys. Great,
No,
great.
come back,
Thanks, Anne
come back.
Hathaway.
Well, thank you so much, and we look forward to seeing you in there. Have so much fun. Mwah. Derek, I love you.
We'll see you inside.
Mwah.
I love
See
you too.
inside.
Here with someone I love very much. Yara Shahidi is here with me. You look gorgeous. I was like,
you.
wow. Okay, first, let's talk about this look, because this is it.
Thank you so much.
You look
It's
gorgeous.
Gautier. Half of it is archive from 2008.
Wow.
And the rest is custom, but it was an ode to my favorite haute couture, Chanel 93.
Wow, and you pulled this off fabulously. You look
Thank
so
you.
incredible. Now, people are so excited. You're playing Tinkerbell in the new Peter Pan and Wendy movie. So tell me, how do you approach such a well-known character and then make it your own?
Well, I think that's even the task of the Met, right? You get a theme and you try and make it your own. Quite honestly, I think it was trying to figure out what this movie asked of Tinkerbell first and foremost, which was already really fun, but a lot of fun references. Last year, I was here as an ode to Josephine Baker, and funny enough, in this movie, I watched a lot of her performances to look at how people like her are using their facial expressions to communicate so much when you say so little.
That's incredible, and everyone is looking forward to that. So what are you
Thank you.
looking forward to here tonight, honoring such an icon and a legend like Carl? What are you looking forward to the most tonight?
Well, the Chanel house and Carl were the first fashion house to really bring me in at 16, I believe.
Wow, 16
The first
years
shows I ever went to, my first experiences, and I think my general appreciation for fashion comes from that experience, and it comes from how welcoming they are, and being able to see fashion as art. And so I think that really kicked off my entire journey, so it's beautiful to be able to be here.
Absolutely. Well, I hope you have an incredible evening.
Thank you. I'll see
Go
you
have some fun. See you
inside.
inside. You
Thank
look gorgeous.
you.
All right,
Thank
for
you,
sure.
Thank you.
See you inside.
Do not adjust your screen. You have made it to fashion heaven. Coming to you from my hometown, New York City, I'm Ice Spice. And I selected some of my favorites from legendary designers like Karl Lagerfeld just for you. eBay is the place to get the most authentic, pre-loved vintage and rare authenticity guaranteed pieces. Everyone deserves a timeless piece. Everyone deserves real. Get yours from my iconic designers collection only on eBay.
Joining us now is the beautiful Devin Aoki and Jeremy Scott. You guys look unreal.
Thank you so much,
You
Chloe.
have to tell us about these looks.
Well, I wanted to honor Carl, and I was doing black and white because I was thinking about his color palette is often restrained in black and white. And the last time Devin and Carl and I were together was after my last show in Paris when I originally lived there. And she wore a winged leather piece, a bustier, in the show. And so I wanted
All right,
to
who
take
did I
a lot of
miss?
mine with Carl. And then, of course, I have my shared muse, Devin Aoki, with Carl.
It's so great to have Carl back in the conversation. He passed away in 2019. I know you both were close friends and collaborators. Do you have any
Someone give me a recap. Where the fuck are my sunglasses?
It might be a little long-winded for this, but I'll try to do it quickly.
when
You miss
I was
Doja?
small,
Oh, we saw her,
Chanel was
though.
One of the only brands that would make you your shoe size, and I have a very small foot.
What size is your shoe size,
I have a
Devin
size
Aoki?
6, so it's pretty tiny. And you know, the sample size is always for models much bigger, you know, size 9, size 10. Anyway, after the show, Virginie and Carl would say, okay, take your shoes because no one else is ever going to wear these, so you can keep them. And so I took the shoes,
Who
thought
is
nothing
this?
of it, and a few months later, we were going to show the same collection in Japan. Well, I got to Japan, and of course, I had taken the shoes, and they didn't have the shoes anymore. So I had to wear these big, you know, size 9, 10 shoes. And there were a lot of steps. It was a runway.
And she's got this man. Isn't he? What's his name?
Said, oh my God, there's so many steps. And
What are you saying,
oh
Nem?
my God, get rid of those
For?
shoes.
What did I do?
Being barefoot is chic.
Why is
I
everybody like,
tried
what?
Barefoot in the couture, and it just shows he was so sweet, and
He always
was.
made it work, that Lagerfeld.
You know, he really did, and he was so good to me. So that was a fun story.
Yeah, just because someone doesn't know who the fuck someone is doesn't mean it's the end of the world.
Wait for you guys to see it. I'm sure you
Sorry I can't consume every piece of media on the internet.
I know. I'm so excited. Can't wait for you guys to see it and have the most magical night.
Thank you so much.
Here in
Thanks for stopping by, guys.
Paris, New York.
Anyways, this is my homage to Karl Lagerfeld. You're welcome.
Thank you, guys. Here with the legendary Carla Bruni. Now, you were the first lady of France, and Carl was such an icon of France. Can you
This
tell
is
us
vintage
about your relationship with
Chanel.
Carl?
Yes, I had a very long-lasting.
Karl Lagerfeld lent me this from his closet.
When I was a young model, and it ended, you know, just a few months before he left.
They're
his-
prescribed so I can
his
actually
last
see who we're talking
we
about
became
now, which is
friends.
actually lovely.
I became a songwriter, and he came to all my concerts without even telling me, just buying tickets and coming. And then when I married my husband, he was president of France. So then he keep, you know, my husband gave him an honorific decoration.
Wow.
And so we had plenty of dinners and a good time together as he would send me clothes, you know, to wear in official occasions.
Right.
And so we remained friends for about 30 years.
And Carla, how does it feel to just see everyone honoring him tonight? You personally knowing him and having such a relationship, I know that has to be an incredible feeling.
It feels moving, almost overwhelming.
Wow.
And
Girl, she's high out of her mind. What's happening right now?
Around us here. And, you know, Carl didn't really believe in death. He would always say, death doesn't exist. You just go, the person just goes in another room. And it could come, person can come back any minute. So that's how I feel tonight.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for
Thank you
stopping
very
by.
much.
You look gorgeous, and thank you for talking to us.
Thank you so much.
All right, Carla, have a good night.
You too.
All right. Bye.
Oh, I should have got the belt. There's a belt that goes with this. What is that? What is happening? Stop the music. Who is in it? It's gonna be like Pete Davidson or something.
I'm so excited to introduce the most pearl-ficked guest at the Met Gala, Kim Kardashian.
Oh, she ate.
Always one of the most talked about people here on the Met Gala red carpet.
Bodied.
Do you feel pressure to outdo yourself every year? What's your process?
I did, but this year I just wanted to feel glamorous. I really didn't feel the pressure. I just wanted to have a good time.
Hey.
I took a shot before I came with my sisters.
Exactly.
My daughter was in the room with me. She's actually in the car watching us, you know, all walk up the red carpet. So it was just like a
Period.
night.
Now, I have a silly question. What was it like meeting the famous Choupette?
All right, moving on.
A little
Anyways,
scary, you know,
these
it took a
interviewers
little while
suck.
To warm up to her. She wrote me a sweet note and left it in my room. We spent some time together before this.
Kim, Kim
Nature.
actually, you sent me a video of you and Choupette having a little bit of a cat fight.
Ooh.
Did you guys guys kiss and make up?
We did. That's the
Okay.
pictures that I showed of us in the bedroom,
Yes.
laying on the bed. I think she was intimidated by all the people. So,
Yes.
yeah, we had a love fest.
And most importantly, tell us about what you're wearing tonight. Who designed this?
This is Daniel for Schiaparelli, and I wanted pearls. I thought, what is more Carl? The iconic Chanel pearls is what I always thought of. So we wanted to just be dripping in pearls. All the way down, if you can see this. She's mothering. We're trying to be Gen Z. We're trying and failing
connect
this.
with the kids.
Popped on the way, and I told my daughter to grab them all. They're real pearls, and she was putting them all in her purse.
Are they real pearls?
They are.
All right. Well, then I think I'm gonna follow you around all night too.
Yeah, if you need me to pick up a pearl.
When's
I'm your
Mother's
girl.
Day? Chloe and I are gonna make some pearl necklaces for our mother out of the remnants of your Met look.
Well, thank you so much, and we can't wait to see you inside.
You have a long walk up that carpet, and I'm thinking you're taking small steps.
Is that Lizzo?
With the fabulous Billie Eilish, just having
Oh,
our
she
own
looks
little
good too.
private
Shit.
convo over here, having a great time. You look gorgeous, Billie. Tell me about your look, and I'm gonna tell you right now, the black hair is it. Like it's
Thanks,
it,
baby.
for sure.
I'm wearing Simone Rocha,
Wow.
who is just one of my favorites in the world, and she does not like custom make anything. And I was just like, please.
You batted your
Yeah,
eyes
she
like
killed
that.
it. I did. But yeah.
And you look incredible. So, Billie, talk about tonight. This is honoring Karl Lagerfeld, an icon, a legend, and so many people are just, bringing their interpretation of Karl and his designs. What does a night like tonight mean for you?
I mean, it means a lot. I'm just, every time I'm invited at all, it's just an honor to me. And
Yes.
I have a good time. I go in there and I
You have fun.
I have good stories afterwards, I'll say that.
Absolutely.
I really do. I'm sure you do too, girl.
Yeah, well, we're in for a night of fun for sure. You made it through the hard part.
I did.
How intimidating are the steps, Billie? 'Cause people ask that all the time.
I feel like they're not too bad.
They're not that bad.
I feel like I'm not going to die.
Okay, so you made it through.
I made it.
Now it's time to have fun.
It's time.
See you
The steps? Like, is it that serious?
All right. See you inside.
It's literally not. Oh, of course it's him. Of course it's him. Of course it's Jared Leto. Of course it is. Someone with no class. No one's shocked. He really thinks he did the thing too. He's like, oh, I really ate that. Look at him. He like really thinks he made an iconic moment. Everybody's gonna forget about it in like 2 hours. Like, girl, be serious.
Are you guys ready? We are joined by Priyanka.
Oh!
There's no more small talk. We're live. We're on Vogue.com. How are you guys?
Wow, I was really enjoying everyone's.
I'm pregnant.
I was just enjoying watching everyone's take on this year's Met Gala. People look amazing.
Yes.
Everyone's turned out so well. It's awesome.
Jared came as a furry. That's great.
You didn't see that coming, did you?
Salma Hayek looks fire. So did Kim. It's awesome.
This whole look is unbelievable. I'm like blinded by this necklace you're wearing. It's stunning.
Nick Joe.
I know. It's a beautiful bespoke bulgari piece.
He had no patience. He said Jared Leto came as a furry.
A lot of carrots.
He said, what a weird, interesting choice.
Now, how did Karl inspire your guys' looks tonight?
I think the black and white is a classic Karl look. We're trying to play with a few of the jewels as well. Obviously, you saw this.
Yes.
Got a few of my own.
Oh, show
less
the
exciting.
jewels. We love a jewel.
Nick, do you remember we had dinner with Karl Lagerfeld?
I remember.
That was
In
the
Paris.
first time we met.
Like 7-8 years ago.
Yeah, big night.
He doesn't remember. Nick does not remember. He's just agreeing for the cameras.
Lovely.
Nick does
It was
not
a
know who you
beautiful night
are.
and wonderful celebration of him at that time, and nice to be able to do that tonight as well.
I'll say.
Chloe and I went to see the exhibit tonight, and there
I'm
is
so excited.
We can't wait to see
7 decades of Karl fabulous fashion.
Guys, genuine question. Who are these interviewers? Like, what do they do and how did they get this gig?
Guys, you're very, you are on theme, Nick Jonas.
Always on theme, Nick Jonas.
We
So
try.
amazing. It's incredible. Yeah, it's so exciting. Like Viola Davis looking amazing as
Oh my
ever.
God.
Yeah, we're wearing Valentino today.
Oh, wow. We were with the Valentinos. What an honor. Well, thank you guys so much, and we can't wait to see you guys inside.
See you inside.
See you guys inside.
Thanks, Vogue.
Thanks, Vogue.
All right, so I am with the fashion killer himself. Russell Westbrook is here. Now, Russ, you've worn a lot of iconic outfits. You've had a lot of iconic moments. And then the Met Ball comes, and we're honoring Karl Lagerfeld tonight. So what do you do in that type of atmosphere? What do you do? How do you put it together?
You know, I think you start with history tonight.
Isn't the SNL girl a Scientologist? Shut up, you lie.
I know Karl was big into
Camp.
designing. And, they got some pants from Hotel that was a
Not that guy. Oh, who is that?
It was the only piece of the pants that made it. So
Who?
a nod to him, obviously with the pearls here as well.
Absolutely.
Don't tell me that's Todrick Hall.
You know, happy to be a part of it.
And for someone who's so into fashion,
Oh, is that Lil Nas?
an icon and a legend like Karl, what does that mean for you?
Wait, he's fully body painted. His ass is out.
Be a part of something like this, and me such a
That's everything.
inspirational in fashion for myself and so many people. So I'm happy to be here.
Absolutely.
Oh my God, his ass is out.
Thank you for coming to say hi. All right, have a good evening. All right.
It's hard for me to be like, oh my God, I like these looks, and then it's like somebody redacted, and I'm like, oh. So like, I always go to the worst. I'm like, is that J.K. Rowling? Is that Todrick Hall? Is that RuPaul? Oh.
Hi, we're back with Viola
Gorge.
Davis and Julia's. Lovely to meet
Queen
you.
Viola Davis, mother.
Your most recent film, Air, has been a huge hit.
Yes.
You play Jordan's mother. Who
Yeah, where is Sasha Colby? Somebody better have invited her ass.
The biggest endorsement deal in the history of sports and maybe even fashion. How did you approach that role?
Oh, I approach a role like I approach every role, where I just have to study the subject. Dolores Jordan, incredible woman, you know, and pray. Pray that it works.
God is good. Montez Ford.
You said you're both wearing Valentino
Yes.
tonight. Tell us about this look.
They wanted to dress me for the Met Ball, and I had a couple of different choices, and I love the color.
Valentino pink, right?
And I love the feathers.
I know, I'm trying to do my microphone and like not touch the feathers.
I love her.
Eyes right above the feathers.
I know. I was asking about how are you going to eat tonight?
I'll figure it out.
That's mother. Like, actually.
And all the jewelry is. And yeah, I feel a little bit like a princess. Or
Here
queen.
for.
Or an empress. Whatever you want to choose.
Did you ever meet Karl yourself?
I've never met Karl. It's like two different worlds, sort of. I know some people really are meshed into the fashion world, even though they're actors. Not us so much. Yeah.
Well, obviously, we know of Karl. We know of his legendary work and, you know, and his philanthropy.
Lil Nas X ate that down. That's crazy.
He really
Wow.
was a great guy. So.
We'll hit a pretty distinctive look, too.
Yeah.
I like when they go there. Like, do like Gaga in the early 2000s and like really just do it up.
It's chills and tears.
Oh, wow. That's great.
Well, you're done with us, so now you can go check
Yeah.
out the show.
Absolutely.
Thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
Fans of you guys.
Unbelievable. Even from the back. Woo.
The way Viola Davis leapt so fast. Ooh. Who is that? Ooh, do you like trans girls? Please. Oh wow. Oh wow. I'm pregnant. Not this bang piece.
So I'm here with what I like to call the dream team. We have Caitlin, Vanessa, and Leah.
Vanessa!
hanging out all together. Each one of you ladies look absolutely stunning. It's such my co-host from last year.
Yes, we
I miss you this year.
I know I miss
this
you. You
year.
look so
Leah
stunning.
Michelle and this
So
Bob.
do you three, amazing. Leah, you said you had a story. I'm putting you on the spot.
So I needed to tell you that I live in your house.
Whoa, what?
When you moved out, I live in your house now. I get tons of packages for you every day.
In my LA house?
No, here in New York.
Oh my goodness gracious.
No, I get tons of packages for you all the time. I promise I don't open anything.
okay.
In case you're missing anything.
Okay, but I
might have it.
trust them
But
with
it's
you.
good. Yes, I
Isn't
love it.
that well?
She's
That
trustworthy.
place has great energy, so
Oh, good,
it's
good, good.
It's
Okay,
good.
no, it really
It's good.
Girl!
So talk
That
to
is
me
such a
about
weird thing to say on the
Karl
carpet.
Lagerfeld, a line of beauty mean to you guys tonight?
I mean, you can really feel his
his energy tonight and everyone's gowns. And this is my first time at the Met.
Oh, it's your first Met?
My very, very first Met.
Okay.
So it's very exciting to be here.
Absolutely. It's so
Yeah.
exciting. Not too overwhelmed?
Not at all. I'm here with my
got
pals.
good girls around
I
her.
do.
Absolutely, absolutely. Now, Vanessa, you're back, not as a co-host, but as a guest this year.
She looks good.
You put all the work on me. That's okay. It's all right. It's okay.
Sorry.
How you feeling?
I'm feeling great. It's really nice to be able to just like come and hang out. You know, we're here with Michael Kors, and he's just like the ultimate party starter.
best.
And I feel like everyone looks amazing. So it's nice. It's nice to be out with the girls.
It absolutely is. And Leah, what does a night like tonight mean to you?
It's my night off from work.
There you go.
I told my son that I was at a wedding tonight for my friends Anna and
She has a
Carl.
son?
And so I love being here. Like Vanessa said, it's such a great group of girls that Michael put together. I've been a fan of Michael for so many years, and it's an honor to be here at the Met and wearing these exquisite dresses. And
Is this a wig or does she have a
Like
bob?
I said, just looks stunning. Please have the best time tonight, and thanks for coming by to
Thank
say
you
hi.
so much.
All right, all right, for sure.
Hi, Harry. Who is that? Who is that? Thank you, Kay. Thank you.
As fun as it is talking to these gorgeous guests, don't forget, we also want to hear from you, our viewers watching live.
You don't
around
want to
the
hear from me.
world.
I'll hurt your
Make sure you're
feelings.
Getting in on the conversation by using the hashtag Met Gala on social media. We'll be checking in throughout the night and featuring our favorite comments and questions right here.
So I'm here with Brittany Griner and Chanel Griner. We are here at the Met. I
Tall.
was so happy when I saw you both covered up the steps. I was like, yes, this is incredible. What is this moment like for you?
It means everything just to be here with my wife and just able to be here. It means so much. Get to see this event a lot. And
Not RuPaul. What is your
You're
problem?
like, one day I'll get to be there. One day I'll get to go. Sherelle, how are you feeling?
I mean, it's surreal still. You know, I mean, this time last year, I was missing my wife. So to have her right here, to be in this moment, breathtaking.
Absolutely. Brittany, we are so happy that you are here with us tonight. It is such a moment. Thank you so much. I want to hear a little bit about your looks tonight.
oh, yes. Calvin Klein has styled
thing with
myself.
that?
And
I think I saw a clip of them on the TL lately because they look very familiar.
it is dripping off of us right
Absolutely. Yeah, that's it. That's it. It's dripping off of you. I like that. It's dripping off of you guys. And on a night like tonight, honoring Karl Lagerfeld, a line of beauty, it's so many different interpretations of Karl and everything. What are you guys most looking forward to tonight?
I mean, just honoring him. He was an icon in the industry, head of so many.
Really? That's crazy. What?
You cannot not think of him. So just being here, celebrating his life and what he's done for the industry.
What?
And, just enjoying it.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, we are so happy that you both were able to join us. Life is good right now.
Yes,
Life
it
is great right
Yes,
now.
it is.
And I definitely just want to say, oh, I wanted to make sure, I don't want to forget about this. Can you tell us about the Bring Them Home campaign?
Yes. You know, I was able to come home and, you know, bring home our families. They were big for us. They did everything, supporting my family, supporting my wife, and it's a lot of hard work doing this. And there's a lot of
Jay, thank you for the follow.
the availability that I have with media. So
That's crazy. Yeah, I saw them on the TL talk about it, but I didn't know what their name was.
Not feeling left behind or forgotten at all.
Absolutely. Brittany Griner, Sherelle Griner, I am so happy to see you. Let's do a group hug.
Yes,
I'm just happy
yes,
that we're
yes,
here.
yes, yes.
This is good. Go inside, have the best time. You both deserve it. Have an incredible evening.
Oh,
and
thank you.
thank you so much for stopping by.
Thank you so
All
much.
right.
How tall? Who's... Oh, I thought that was a headpiece on someone. I was like, who's the bitch on the headpiece?
look at these three lovely ladies. We have Stella McCartney, Madeline Klein, and Audrey
Slutburn.
Slutbone.
To you.
Oh. Well,
Can
I'll
you get
take
the
it.
names right of the people you're interviewing? You
Now,
should fucking
tell
know
us about
this.
Look. It's a look. And that's it. And this is
How fucking embarrassing.
Stella McCartney.
wow.
It's amazing, isn't it? That's right. Sustainable Stella McCartney.
Great. Now, Stella, you took over from Karl Lagerfeld.
You're not taking this seriously.
I am.
I think it's very serious.
No, I'll be more serious.
We can jump
I
into
did.
some fashion.
No, okay. This is okay. Well, no, because my name is Chloe.
Clock the
and
interviewer. Get
you
her.
Took over from Karl Lagerfeld at Chloe in 1997. How did you work with his legacy at the house?
You know, my favorite moment about that, and it's when I felt that I truly arrived, is when Karl found out that I had taken over as successor to the brand. His quote was,
This girl boss
"I knew
crew,
they
you
would take
better.
a big name a big name when I left the brand, but I thought it would be a big name in fashion, not in music."
So good though.
A king of the one-liners.
Burn.
But very
Burn.
good. I loved it. I was like, oh, Karl Lagerfeld knows who I am.
Yeah, there you go. Now, Audrey, is this an alter ego of yours? Who explain to me, Audrey Slut?
She just likes to have a good time, does the right thing, says the right thing at all times.
And Madeline, you look lovely. And
I
it's
love
just
that
Madeline,
woman.
Madeline. Great. Well, I guess we'll see you three inside.
Yeah, we stick together as we do.
The good news is that you have the best Met Gala tour guide. Stella McCartney is always the ringleader of the good times here at this
No,
event.
Bianca's dress last year for Hall of Fame was from Shein. I clocked it. I put it in the video.
Get out of there, you guys. Get out of there. Get out of there.
It was lovely to meet you, and we'll never see you.
Christina Ricci is here. We're having great conversation. You look stunning.
Thank
Christina,
you.
tell me, how do you prepare for a night like tonight?
Well, I went and got some insane facial with like microcurrents and stuff to reattach my face to my skull, which worked.
This bang piece?
So good. Stuck on now, my face.
Everybody's got a bang.
Tell us about your look.
I'm wearing.
Yeah, tell us about the
by Kim
bang.
Jones.
Love Kim Jones.
Yeah, I know. I love Kim. He's one of my closest friends, and it's inspired by Carl's time at Fendi and how he experimented with fabrics and the reworking of fabrics.
Right.
And so yeah.
I think we're all in for an incredible evening. I'm hearing the exhibition is.
Yeah, we're gonna toss the bang around at the party. We're gonna have everybody try on the bang piece at the party
Always,
inside.
Christina, always a pleasure with you.
Have a great
She's gonna take it off and pass it around for everybody for the selfie booth. Who is that? Oh, in your hair, so unserious. I was about to say, isn't she redacted? That's why I was quiet.
Guess what? It's time for our first fan comments of the night. Chloe, take it
Oh
away.
boy. Silver Fire says, watching the Met Gala is one of my favorite traditions. I absolutely love seeing all the beautiful outfits.
Whoa, Liz Lemon?
Liz
Do you
Lemon?
think that's the actual Liz Lemon, or is that like a fan account?
I-
We'll come back
oh,
to.
yeah.
But she says Chloe Feynman, one of the hosts of the Met Gala, Slay Mama.
Slay
Are we
Mama.
allowed to say Slay Mama?
I think so.
Okay, all right.
At Leah Ferrari.
How embarrassing is this shit? Who is this man? Who is this?
Keep your questions and comments.
Who are you people?
Later in the evening.
Slay Mama?
A watch party happening right now in my home.
You are-
of St. Louis, Missouri.
Oh.
Yeah, I got some hometown
You're from
heroes.
Slow.
Slay Mama 123, that's true. Slay Mama 123 at the Met Gala.
Yes, please
We'll see
invite
you
us
next year.
to St. Louis.
Oh my god, we won. Oh my god! Wait, Jenna Ortega! Is that like cheetah print on it? I actually like it. Not my fave, but it is cute. I like it.
It's couples night tonight. We have Nicola, Brooklyn, Rena, Alexis. We are all here. This is couples night tonight, and we have a special guest here with us right now. Do we want to talk about our special guest, Rena?
I don't know. You
Okay,
tell me.
I think we should. I think we should.
Okay, and our new addition. There's 3 of us here.
There are three.
Yeah.
Congratulations, Rena! The secret's out. Congratulations. How you doing?
I'm good. I'm feeling good now. Yeah.
Feel good?
Yeah, I
You can
feel pretty
breathe?
good. Yeah, I can breathe. I can stop.
Well, you look gorgeous.
Not hiding, but yeah.
Look, we're both just like, Rena, I'm so happy.
We're locals. We're semi-neighbors.
Oh, yeah, so that's what I said. It's couples night.
Pete Davidson in a bucket hat.
Tell me about
You
it.
are unserious. So unserious. I would understand it if it was a different theme. Cause like this is like Karl Lagerfeld passed away. You're wearing a bucket hat and a t-shirt. Oh my God. He is, I can't. I actually can't.
Everyone looks gorgeous. Tonight is such an incredible night. It's
I actually can't. Who invited him? Well, whose table is he sitting at? Whose table? Whose table are it?
Such a legend. Honestly, I'm so excited to see everyone interpret his legacy that he left behind and do it in their own way. And I'm so excited to see the exhibition.
Absolutely. Rena,
That is so embarrassing.
amazing when it
He
comes
is
to
such.
fashion.
Oh, maybe I should
Never
censor myself.
on a red carpet. So what does
Not too much. No, not too much.
to honor such an icon like Karl?
Well, yeah, I mean, Karl never disappointed with his design, so we're both just so happy to be here. And,
Guys, it's literally this event is a tribute to Karl Lagerfeld, somebody that passed away, an icon in the industry of fashion industry. And Pete Davidson walked up in a t-shirt, a blazer, and a bucket hat. Didn't even shave his face and put on sunglasses. Like, that is so aggravating to me. That is so aggravating. Should I play Subway Surfers? I agree. I would, Fox. I would pick the fursuit. At least it's a tribute to Karl Lagerfeld in some way, opposed to a bucket hat and some fucking sweatpants on the carpet. Kim, I can't believe Kim dated his ass. Kim, stand up. That is embarrassing. Oh, is that Kylie? Wait, is Kendall gonna be with Bad Bunny? Hold on a second. Wait, this red dress? Ah! Pussy! 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 You fucking better work. I don't even care. The jacket's kind of tired, but that red dress is everything! That red dress is so good. That red dress wins for me. Wow. Wow. Wow.
So a little while ago, we asked you for your favorite Chanel runway design, and you chose Supermarket circa 2014. Supermarket circa 2014 was pretty iconic and legendary. So
You know they're not going to separate Judgment Day. You already know they're
Gala
not.
has seen countless memorable looks over the years, but which is your all-time favorite? Sarah Jessica Parker and Alexander McQueen in 2006, Rihanna and Guapé in 2015, Chadwick Boseman and Versace in 2018, or Lady Gaga and Brandon Maxwell in 2019. Head to @Vogue Magazine on Twitter to cast your vote. Excited to see who you vote for.
The Kardashians are on the carpet. The red shoe is so fucking cunty. The asymmetry and the shoulder pad. Ugh. You can't even deny. You can't even deny.
Cara Delevingne is here. I'm
This
so
wig?
excited to see you. I met Cara as a wee teenager, and I watched her grow into
This wig?
a ultimate
This
Karl
chicken
Lagerfeld.
wig?
It's a big night tonight.
It is a big night. Yeah, a lot of emotions. Honestly, I cried on the way here a little bit. I don't know. It's kind of like it's a wonderful thing to be able to do this and honor such an incredible person, not only in fashion but personally as a friend. I owe him so much, and it's an amazing way to remember him. Yeah.
I imagine your look tonight is inspired by Karl himself. Can you walk me through it?
So this is like his iconic white shirts and a lot of chrome hearts jewelry.
I understand the homage, but girl.
It just felt right. But yeah, the gloves, everything. All the
No, it's a boots from me, dog. I can't.
And you came in sunglasses. I think
I
you
did, yeah.
checked
I'm
every
gonna wear
box.
those
on the carpet.
Yeah, a little bit. Whip them off.
Was it ever? This is the dumbest question, but I'm so sorry I have to ask it.
Double down on it.
Carl. Was that ever hard or confusing?
Carl. No, people just call me Carla by the end.
Carla.
You know?
That's
Oh my god.
Cara Delevingne moments in the world of Chanel was the supermarket show.
Yeah, my favorite.
Do you remember
That
Rihanna was
so
pushing
much
you
fun.
around in a shopping cart?
I was pushing her around.
Oh, excuse me.
Don't worry
Thank you
about
for fact checking me. We
Oh
like
no,
to
she was.
keep it- I think she was pushing. The
We
internet will
no,
let
we
us-
were both in it. Joan was pushing us
Joan
around.
Smalls was
There you go.
pushing you around, and I'm
Yeah.
sure the internet will correct all of
I
us.
stole so. Can I say that? I stole so much from that supermarket. They had like a Chanel chainsaw. Anyway, I don't steal things. You have to have it.
Well, that's my favorite.
Fox, thank you for using your Prime. Enjoy your ad previewing and subscription
There
emotes.
was so many. I think doing a show in Edinburgh, we went to Japan, we went all around the world. But honestly, his like looking into the future, he really like did so many things. We did this amazing women's march, and I think also this one, one of his last shows that we did, and it was like at this ski chalet, and like all the girls, we were all crying and holding hands, and it just felt like such a moment. But he is one of those people that no matter where he is, he's always there. You may see him on the carpet tonight. I hope so.
A little bit in
thoughts with Cara
Yeah, but like he lives on. Look everything. Like he's influenced so much, not only in fashion. So
We're going to love the exhibit tonight. It's all Karl all the time, and I'm happy to see you.
Lovely to be with you, Carla.
Thanks, guys. Nice to
I'm
see
gonna
you.
start
Carla.
calling you that.
Carla. Thank you, guys. I will get back to what I do best. I don't know what that is.
And I'll have these mics.
Oh wow, she looks hot. I like that outfit. That was cute. Oh wow.
Let's take a look inside this year's exhibition, Karl Lagerfeld, A Line of Beauty, which opens to the public on May 5th.
Right.
What always struck me the most about Karl was that he always wanted to be relevant, and he never wanted to look back. I think he did look back. I think he was actually deeply nostalgic. He would never admit it, and he always wanted to look forwards, and he absolutely always had the finger on the pulse and always was looking at the zeitgeist. I think that what kept him so relevant was his curiosity, his intelligence, but also open-mindedness. He would take inspiration from anywhere, from a green sweater in the street, or from art, or from film, or from literature. He wasn't a snob. Well, he was a snob. He was a democratic snob. And I think that's what kept him abreast of things, because he was so passionate and so interested. He had this magnanimous spirit.
So the Dream Team has officially
Oh, wow.
arrived and slayed this carpet like no other. Kendall is here, Kylie's here, my best friend Kim is here.
I love all their looks. I'm gonna be honest.
I feel amazing. I'm so happy to be here for Karl and just for the theme and for the Met. I'm so happy. I'm wearing Marc Jacobs. I am wearing Hyder, JPG, Hyder Ackerman.
Gorgeous, gorgeous.
And I'm wearing Schiaparelli.
So Kim, tell me, what does a night like tonight honoring someone like Karl mean to you?
To me, it's like super
Are
emotional
Chris and
I
Chloe gonna show up?
love my sisters. I love my family, and seeing
Kendall really started her beginning of her modeling career with Carl and was the bride in so many of his shows, and I would just sit and watch them. And I mean, my first fashion shoot ever, Carl shot it, so it's so special.
Okay, so Kendall, talk about that. Just starting your career with Carl and then now being here honoring him tonight.
Yeah, I mean, it's amazing. Like Kim said, I think it's a little emotional, and I owe a lot to him and what he did for me, and it was such a pivotal point in my career for me. I started working with him when I was really young.
Oh my god, I just squirted.
I'm honored to be here. I'm honored to celebrate him, and it's awesome.
And Kylie, on a night like tonight,
I
what are you
can't.
looking forward to?
Get the cameras off me.
Forward to making more memories with
Oh,
my
wow.
sisters, seeing all the fashion.
Oh wow. Oh
Just here for
wow.
a good time.
With my best friend.
Maybe a little
yes.
tequila, 818.
I like how you look. I like how you did that.
Oh my, the back cut out!
Well, I hope you guys have an
Fuck me!
some fun.
Oh my god.
dancing. Now everybody could breathe and go have a good time. All right?
I hate you, Kendall. He's mine. He's mine. Nah.
Everything is
He's
done. Go have
mine.
a good time. All right.
He's so fine. I can't do this. Oh wow. Oh wow. Oh wow. Oh wow. Oh wow. Well. Not ended, Raquel.
To date on the latest fashion news, check out Vogue's weekly podcast.
Guys, I've been asking this entire live stream, what are their names? Who are these interviewers? Who are these people? You guys are these fucking losers on the carpet. I hate
And new
these two.
episodes
I
are
hate
available
them.
every Thursday, wherever you get your podcasts.
Girl, stream Triple Threat and not their tired ass podcast. Stream my podcast.
Your show, and now you're kind of on my show.
And now I'm on your show. And here's, you know, Matthew Williams. This is Emma. Emma Matthew. This is the designer of Givenchy, and he made my look tonight. Do you want to stand right here?
Yes, stand here.
I'm
Chloe Feynman, she's on Saturday Night Live.
Matthew.
Don't know the dude though.
It's okay. We'll do it, and then I'll.
This
just tell you
designer is
when
hot.
you're
Hold
so-
on.
This is the way you're swaying. Oh my god, you're too good. I honestly, everyone, I have so many like possible co-hosts out here. You're really in the running.
Thank you.
Okay, so tell me about this look.
Well, yeah, this is a look that we made inspired by some of Carl's favorite things. So the drapes are inspired by fans, which is something that he really loved, and orchids. Which is
Beauty partnerships on YouTube.
yeah, Carl.
So he's a YouTuber.
Nostalgic, so he wanted to make something new.
Right. Anyways.
To the craftsmanship of the atelier of Givenchy.
Amazing. I know. I think that the magic of tonight is sort of blending like Carl with an individual and blending Carl with other incredible brands, and it's just, I don't know, it's a magical night.
Yeah, well, I also think that Carl would have loved this feather floral embroidery.
You think so?
situation, and I think that that's what's so fun about like doing Next in Fashion, and I feel like this is like the like intense version of like that is really like getting designers to think outside the box in a way that like really has nothing to do with like what they're going to sell that year and, you know, their brand directly, but it's so fun to see everyone's interpretation of something just to do it, to create something. That's what I love about it.
Totally. Speaking of Next in Fashion, do you feel like that changed your fashion philosophy at all? Like, did that sort of like, I don't know, expand your mind in some way, that experience in hosting that show? Or do you feel like it just further solidified?
Both. I think that although it further solidified what I, you know, wanted to push on that show, which is just to like be yourself and be unafraid to like go for it and try something new. They also like
I wish I was
were
pretty
really
like them.
inspiring, and I think that all of them brought
They're so effortlessly pretty and their hair is gorgeous. I have like, I like my natural hair, but it's so frizzy. Like you could see like at the roots, like it's terrible. Makes me mad.
The hottest date.
Thanks.
The hottest date.
We're gonna have fun.
No, you guys are gonna. We're gonna have
Once
fun.
we get up those stairs.
When we get in there, I know this is like the.
I'm not pretty like these runway models. God, I wish I was.
Okay,
you think this is scary?
Yeah, because we're just kind of, you're standing up and swaying as we make turns.
And I'm like, can I sit down? And he's like trying to be nice. I'm like, you can say no, because you know,
I know.
It starts to, we can't steam.
He's
this
hot.
online, so
This designer, like, who are you?
It was fun too.
It was fun though. It was funny.
Yeah.
Like wait, like until once you're at the top of the steps, it's the best night.
True,
ever,
they do
but,
have
like,
teams of people.
Every step before those steps, you're a mess. Like I'm a mess. I'm a mess, and then I get through it, and I'm like, I'm free. I'm free. I can't wait to be free up
But I
there
also
together.
do like to look
For me, I make
around.
just a straight line.
Yeah,
up
but
the
it's also
steps.
stressful.
Trying
This
to
is like your
block out.
art, and you're like, listen, we're all feeling it.
Yeah.
Let's just say that.
It's time.
It's time
to get up the stairs.
Go do it, babe.
Cheers.
Cheers. And I'll take that.
Oh wow, is that Janelle Monáe? She always eats on the Met Gala. She always does. Look it, she's doing a homage to Karl Lagerfeld, the black and white, the suit. She's taking his traditional suit. She elevated it. Look at it. She's everything. She always does it. She has the cat purse as an homage to his cat. She never misses. She always wins on the red carpet. She literally always wins. There's not a single time Janelle Monáe has arrived on the red carpet and never ate the Met Gala. I'm dead serious to you. Every single year she wins. The ties on her hair because Karl Lagerfeld's ties. I can't. She has everything. She's never been off theme. She's never looked bad. She's always like top 3 looks of the Met Gala for me. If not top 2, top 1. Because she's always on theme and it serves. She's fucking everything. I can't find this chest, y'all. Where the fuck is this chest, dude?
We are here with 2 people who just officially shut down the carpet.
Yeah, it's hot out there.
Carisha, Young Miami is here. Puff, aka Love, aka Diddy, we are in the building. All right, come on.
They look great.
Let's talk about what it feels like to just walk up here and just shut the whole carpet down.
I mean, it feels great. You know, we out here giving that black excellence. This is Sean John's debut.
Wow.
As you can see. First time I designed in 10 years, and you know, we feeling good.
How you feeling, Carisha?
I'm feeling great.
This is your first Met Gala. What does that feel like?
It feels like a dream come true.
We were talking a lot in FaceTime and getting you ready for today. So now that you've done it, you made it up the stairs. Does it feel like
She's pretty.
okay, I can finally breathe now?
I'm like, okay, you got through it. It was good. It was perfect. It was everything.
And
You were perfect. She's gorgeous.
She's gorgeous.
Stunning.
Oh.
Amazing.
Incredible.
All right, so
Janelle doing a whole
I have
performance?
$1 million question right now. You ready
What's
for it? The $1 million question is, so do y'all officially go together real bad?
Wow.
I'm asking. I want to know.
Wow.
You not answering that?
No.
Wow.
We here.
The shoe.
Like, real bad?
Yeah,
Real bad?
yeah.
It's
Wow.
official? Real bad?
I don't know what you're asking me exactly.
Wow.
We definitely go together real bad.
Then that's what it is. Then that's what it is.
She's my date for the night. She's incredible.
It's just a good date night.
It's like a date night. Date night.
We don't put titles on it. Everybody wants us to put a title on. We don't put titles on it. This is like my best friend in the world. One of the most beautiful people God has blessed me to
Absolutely.
meet. And I'm blessed that she's my date tonight. Can I get like a little napkin for my forehead? Damn, I'm sweating.
And by the way, maybe y'all onto something. No titles might be it.
Yeah, no
For
titles,
sure. No
no
titles
titles.
might be it. That might be it. You good?
Yeah, I'm good.
All right. So last
This cape
question.
is hot.
Last question, Puff. Tonight we're honoring Karl Lagerfeld, a line of beauty. Tell me what that means to you to honor such an icon like Karl Lagerfeld.
I got a chance to spend time with Karl, you know, when I was designing Sean John, just as a fellow designer, and he was so creative, and he has so much attention to detail. Yeah, you get some of that. You want some, baby girl? No, his attention to detail and his attention to beauty.
Yeah.
It's just hot, baby. Look at this, y'all. This is what I'm wearing. This Sean
What is
John
happening?
Nah, this cape is crazy. Like, the detail on this cape is crazy.
This interview is so chaotic.
Wow.
You know, the first Sean John collection, so it's a little hot. So I'd rather you ask Carisha some questions so I could go get my cape fixed and I could get all this sweat off of me because I'm hot.
I love you so much. All right, Carisha,
Somebody help me
before
with
you
my
guys go
cape.
inside, what are you looking forward to the most tonight?
Just fashion to see what everybody got on. It's just see how good. Yeah, I want to see how good everybody look.
Well, y'all go in there and have an amazing time. I'll see you inside. Can't wait to party and drink.
Coming
Love
to
you.
the party tonight?
What kind of question is that? The only party I'm coming to.
Make sure everybody knows if they can't dance or they don't want to dance,
Don't come.
to my party.
Don't come. Don't come. You heard it here
I
first.
love
Don't
y'all.
come.
Sean John is back, baby.
Right.
Let me figure out my cape.
Yeah. That cape is fine.
Thank you, baby. See, we got the flowers.
Okay. Who is that?
Have you ever dreamed about walking the runways of Paris and modeling in the pages of Vogue? Well, guess what? This is your chance. Open Casting is Vogue's new global initiative to find models that embody a modern ideal of beauty. Make sure you apply now. What an amazing opportunity.
When I apply and I get accepted. Just kidding.
Want to get into modeling.
Honestly, confidence is key. Be nice to everyone. From a business standpoint, you never know who that person might be.
You have to definitely know yourself.
Be nice to everybody. Awkward. I've been dragging everybody, please.
Different spaces for malls to exist.
Channel how you would actually feel in that moment and express it. If you have the thoughts, the face reacts.
Fill yourself up with experiences and knowledge and really study the world that you're entering.
If you want to be a model, join Vogue.
Join Vogue's.
Join Vogue's.
Join Vogue's open casting.
Girl, you're not gonna hire me. Don't even try it. Is it? Who's in the white bridal with the white boots? Why do I hear Alvin and the Chipmunks right now? What was that?
All right, so we are joined now by 20-time Grand Slam champion and Met Gala co-chair, the spectacular Mr. Roger Federer, who's been keeping me company. We've been having our own
Grand Slam champion, not any WWE person I know.
What's your favorite thing about your life since retiring from professional tennis?
It's good to be home. It's nice to have a more of a solid life, not being on the road and unpacking. But I love that life too. So of course I miss parts of it, but just being home with the children, having a schedule where I can meet friends on a Wednesday, other people on a Friday, do family trips, social life, having family trips on a weekend, having some really nice vacations as well. And life's still fun. It's still very busy. I'm surprised actually how much is going on.
Yes, and we were talking about how many Met Galas you've been to. So what's the count? How many Met Galas
This
have
is
you
only
been to?
my second.
This is your second one. So do you have a favorite memory of the Met Gala?
Yeah, I mean, when I came here, I believe it was in 2017.
Okay.
It's a while back.
It's been a while.
Yeah, it's been a while, and it's been a lot of fun. I didn't know what to expect. So this time, I feel like I kind of know how it's going to run.
You know the flow.
I know the flow. And being a co-chair this year obviously makes me very happy, you know, being here with Anna and helping out the Metropolitan Museum and the Costume Institute. So it's great fun.
Absolutely. Well,
Yeah.
I hope you have an incredible evening. Thank you for
Thank you so
keeping
much.
me company. We had great
Absolutely. Have a
conversation.
nice
Thank you,
evening. I'll see
Roger.
you soon.
All right, see you.
Oh, she said get out of my face. Who's that in the blue? I like that y'all can like clock somebody from so far away and I'm like, who is that? I still can't even see their face and I'm wearing prescribed glasses. Like that's how bad my eyesight is. I can't.
I am here with Marc Jacobs himself and Paris Hilton.
Oh,
our official in the building. Thanks so much for stopping by to chat for a little while. So, Paris, I'm going to start with you.
Okay,
This is your
mother.
first Met Ball. How does it feel to be at your first Met Ball?
I just feel so excited to be here with the legend, Marc Jacobs. I just did his campaign, and it was so incredible. and I'm just loving the dress that he made for me tonight.
The dress is absolutely
Work.
stunning. Mark, tell us about this dress.
Well, this dress, I'd say, you know, like I believe in collaborate.
His hair.
Okay. So, you know, collaboration of a sort. So it was like a thing. First of all, to dress Paris Hilton is like, how the fuck do you, how do you do that? Right? So I thought like, well, maybe it would be interesting and exciting to see her in a black gown, you know, because it's not typical for Paris. So we approached her with the idea, and then we added the idea of leather, and she was all game and everything, and then she had some comments, like, I need a little sparkle, and could you make this fabric here?
Right.
And we worked together and made it happen, and she looks fantastic.
Nailed it.
Nailed it.
Absolutely fantastic.
Hot.
So, Mark, I'm going to say you are one of fashion's most respected people, and I know you have an incredible amount of respect for other designers. So how do you think about this tonight, honoring Karl and his legacy?
Well, Karl, I mean, I've looked up to Karl. Karl's been a hero of mine since I was 17 years old and looking at Chloe collections. And Karl's been a hero of mine, and he's also been a great supporter of mine. And I think what I find so exciting always about Karl's work and what he does is that he was, like, to me, the true fashion designer. Like, there were no limits. It was about unbridled creativity, but always with elegance and sophistication and tongue-in-cheek, but always.
That's what I serve all the time. Artistry and elegance. Every single stream.
Absolutely.
You know it.
I know you tweeted a picture of you and Karl. Tell us about that.
Karl and I hung out in Paris a couple times, and he was just such an inspiration to me always, and we had so much fun and just
And
so many
tongue in
memories.
cheek.
I've always just looked
Yeah.
up to him in so many ways.
I be putting my tongue in someone's cheek, if you know what I'm saying. Ho!
Incredible job. Have the best time. Have fun. The
What?
hard part's over. Now you can go and have a good time.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks, Mark. Thank you, Paris. All right. Thank you so much.
Who said that? I serve artistry and elegance. Girl.
Is it? Earlier, we asked what was your all-time favorite Met Gala look.
Girl!
And you chose
Bum-ba-da-bum.
Rihanna Guopé.
Ooh. Look at this. This was also
Yeah, that's
the
iconic.
dawn of the Met Gala meme moment.
Yes.
Do you remember this dress was everywhere in every different type of variation?
Yes.
It was an omelet.
It was
everything.
and a train. I feel like we have a lot of trains
Rihanna
tonight.
does not disappoint.
No, she never
Slay
does.
Mama meme does not disappoint. Like, he's really trying to be current. How old is this fucking loser?
Gala.
Like, maybe we should just retire. He's not 41. You are joking. Is that what's his name? Pedro Pascal? Is he wearing like boxers? He's wearing like shorts. He looks hot.
I am here joined by Baz Luhrmann, who I just
Who
love
is that
so
in
much.
the veil
I
in the
don't-
white
I don't
boots? They look like
fan
so good.
over a lot of people, but you are definitely one. Thank you so much for coming to talk to us. Tell us about tonight. How are you feeling tonight?
It's really, you know what? A year ago today.
Oh, y'all really, oh, you are really,
Up next, we were here celebrating Elvis.
y'all down bad for Pedro.
I
Okay.
remember that. And like today, we're celebrating Karl, who was I worked with him 20 years ago. We were great friends. And when you see the exhibition inside, you will understand the true genius of the man. I mean, it's hard to believe a single person made that much beauty. So that's what, tonight is a great show. There's going to be a really surprising thing happening inside. I might know a little bit about
Oh.
it.
Sounds like you know
Oh, wow.
Just a little bit, but I will tell you, it's all about that exhibition. I encourage young people to get out and see that exhibition.
Absolutely. Now, Baz, before you go, tell us about your look.
Actually,
It's a suit.
Tom Brown did Karl.
Oh, I love that. I love that.
This is Tom Brown. This is Karl Lagerfeld by Tom Brown, or Tom Brown by Karl Lagerfeld. These are pearls by Pasquale, and amazing. And Basilic jewelry. It's a London designer.
Well, one thing about you, you always know how to put it together and shut it down. Thanks for coming to say hi.
I want to say one thing. I'm really honored to be here, but bringing on Alton Mason.
Yes, thank you,
Alton Mason.
Thank you for bringing the actual event to the camera.
Okay. Thank you.
Good to
Thank
see
you.
you, boss.
Thank you. So, Alton,
Yes.
tell me about this look. It's
So,
incredible.
You know, my biggest memory with Karl, I got the blessing to meet Karl in person,
was doing Chanel, becoming the first black man to walk for Chanel. Such an honor. So
Wow.
this is a very full circle moment for me. My team
This outfit is so hot. I'm
when I think of the
obsessed.
Grand Noir moment, I think of the Chanel bride.
And
So here we are.
and no one has done it better. No one has done it
Thank you,
better.
baby.
I love you so much.
You look amazing.
Incredible.
We gotta celebrate when you get inside.
Absolutely, we will celebrate. Thanks
Let's
for
do
coming
it.
by.
All
All right,
right, babe.
see you in a few. Yep. All right, we got. Hi, baby. You good? Hi, baby. How are you? I'm good. How are
It is J-Lo.
I haven't seen myself on TV. Well, you look so good. You liking it? You liking it? I kind of do. You look incredible. All right, Jennifer, tell us about the look.
You look
'cause
incredible.
Thank you,
How
because
you
you
doing,
guys are doing so good. Mwah, it's always so good to see you. Shut down, like every single time. Tell us about the look.
Thank you. It's Ralph Lauren.
Wow, wow.
I'm very excited about it. I wasn't sure about the hat, but now I'm kind of feeling
No,
it.
no, the hat is it. The hat is it.
So, yeah.
She's so cute, please.
Jennifer, tell me about a night like tonight. We're honoring Carl.
I know.
It's a line of beauty. What does that mean to you? When you hear that, when you feel that, what does that mean to you?
You know, I hate throwing around the word iconic. I've said this because everybody uses it so much. Now it's just like the word to use.
Right.
But he actually was such an iconic figure in fashion. And when you think of like the last 50 years, you think like if you think of 5 people in fashion.
Let's get loud.
With Chanel and for so long, and keeping that brand so fresh and young and alive, and you know, he really was a genius, and it's amazing to be here tonight. I got to meet him, and for a little girl, like I always say, from the Bronx,
Right.
who like kind of aspired to the fashion world and to be an entertainer, to meet people like that was always such a dream to me. So it's a real
What is
honor to be
happening?
here to celebrate him tonight and celebrate his legacy in fashion.
Yes. And you've been to a lot of Met Galas, a lot of Met Balls. So what do you look forward to? Like what
I
do you
look forward to seeing everybody.
What is happening on the second cam?
Nice congregation of like fashion and film and music, and you know that's my world. Those are my worlds, and so it's always a lot of fun.
Well, I'm so glad you stopped over to say
Thank
hi.
you.
Have
I
the
hear like
best time.
heckling. Like what is happening?
All right, always good to see you. The hat's perfect. The look is perfect. See you. Yes, keep the hat. I don't know.
Who's in this white? What? There's so many people on the carpet right now. What is happening? There's so much to what is happening? What is happening? Oh my god, it's a thing of Karl Lagerfeld. That's kind of iconic. Wait a second. Hold on. Who's wearing that? Oh wow. Don't tell me it's someone redacted. Please be somebody that actually is worth my time. Don't tell me it's that redacted girl that used to dress up in the Trump dresses. Do you know the girl? Wow, that's gorgeous. So who's wearing it? Who is that?
Vogue's weekly podcast, The Run Through, will be dropping a special episode tomorrow starring me, yours truly. I'll be discussing all things Carl and spilling the tea about
Everybody be sure not to tune into that stream.
tonight's event. New episodes of The Run Through are released every Thursday and can be found wherever you get your podcasts. But tomorrow's Tuesday's episode...
Everyone should stream my
is a
podcast
special
instead of this
edition.
guy's tomorrow, just to let that be known that we're not. Okay, I've seen enough of the dress, like I'm gonna be honest, like it's cool, but like did we really need to keep the camera here for like 3 hours? But they're stopping again. Okay. No, they didn't. You lie. Not damage control finally winning. We won. Is this their first win in like... Not when I wear my Snuggie backwards. Oh my god, how many times do we have to stop and pick up this thing? Like, yeah, we got enough pictures. This reminds me of, what the fuck? The fan. For no reason.
One of my absolute faves has officially hit the carpet. Erykah Badu is here, everyone.
Oh, wow.
You just look over here. You just look amazing. You just look
Can't see
stunning.
anything.
Can you tell me about this look, Erykah? Tell me what we got going on here today.
Well, today I am joining Francesco Riso, who is the creative director of Marnie.
Wow.
And we went together last year as well, and we're together this year because we've been hanging out quite a bit because we just dropped our clothing line, you know.
I
our
did
capsule
see that.
line,
Yes,
right.
I did see that, and it looks incredible. And this
Yeah.
outfit is so incredible. Erykah, we are honoring Karl Lagerfeld tonight,
course.
a line of beauty. Talk to me about what that means to you.
Karl Lagerfeld. The black and white of things is what Karl means to us in fashion.
Did you not rehearse your line?
Daring, I'm sorry, darling. The daring or not too daring. It's one or the other. And that's
Girl,
what
she's
Karl-
high out of her mind.
So happy you're here. I just love you so much. And your daughter's here. Your
She
daughter's
is.
here for her first
Yeah.
Met. Puma, come through.
Come in, babe.
Oh, wow.
You look. I want everybody to see how gorgeous you look.
Holy
How are
shit.
you?
I'm doing great.
You look absolutely gorgeous. Puma, tell us about your look.
Well, my look, you know, it just, to me, it just gives excellence. I don't know how to describe it. Excellence, expensive, but I think a way. Stop it. I think a way that it also pays tribute to Karl is by the detail and the amount of work it takes to put into a garment. Oh, sorry. The amount of work it takes to put into a garment, and you know, I think that that's kind of how we pay tribute to him because he's so detail oriented.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. Now, your mom's been to a lot of Met balls, but this is
Oh,
your
yeah.
first one. So how does it
Yes.
feel to be at your first Met Gala?
Well, it's a little nerve-wracking.
I know,
I'm
right?
not
Those
gonna
steps,
lie.
the carpet,
steps,
everything.
Girl, I had a little workout because this thing is
Heavy, heavy, heavy.
Yeah, but you know, I just feel a lot of love here.
Of course.
Really good energy. I feel great about
And
tonight.
you made it to the top. Now
I
you get
made
to,
it,
Now you get to
girl.
go in and just have a good time.
Absolutely. I'm ready to eat.
That's the same. Same.
I'm ready
Erykah,
to
you know how much I love you.
I'm ready to
Love you,
eat.
Love you. Puma, have the best time tonight. All
Girl,
right,
I'm ready to
thank you.
eat. I'm fucking hungry, bitch.
Let's take another look at the making of this year's exhibition.
Shut up.
The candlestick dress is from Karl's own label from Autumn Winter 1985.
Sauce?
And it falls within a line called the satirical line. And it looks at how Karl would transfer his wit and irony and humor into clothes.
I
through
said,
almost surrealistic
I'm ready to eat. And Sauce said, Austin Theory talking to his fingers.
It was
You!
when he placed the candlestick on the body, it became sort of a substitute of the woman. So when
No!
candlestick,
No! I can't.
Lumiere from Beauty and the Beast.
When he shows up to the Met in his blue, neon blue thong, what then? Who is that? Put on my glasses. See, this is what I wanted. I want a silver unit. I wanted a gown. That's Cardi? Is it really? Oh, she ate the category then. This is one of my top picks, if I'm honest. Silver unit, like I said earlier. Gown. Tie. Black and white. Exactly. That's the theme. Honoring Karl Lagerfeld. And it's a good unit. It's not a shake and go. Looks like a good unit. I like the little bump in it too. It's giving Ariana in the 34-35 video. Looks great. I'm gonna be honest, probably one of my favorite looks so far.
All right, so I'm here with my sis. My family has arrived. Tiana Taylor is here on the carpet. I mean, sexy, fire, swagged out. I don't even know what else to
Wow.
say. Tell me about
Wait,
this
I like this look
amazing
too.
Look by Tom Brown.
Yes, I'm in Tom Brown from head to toe. Inspired by Karl Lagerfeld, you know, his classic look, the tie.
Absolutely.
The cutouts?
The little ponytail in the back.
Get into that.
Get in, you know. The shade.
Wow.
Get in.
Get in. The classic Karl shade. Get in. I'm just suited and booted. Yeah.
Oh my god, the cuts out in the back. Oh, I love this look.
So, Tiana, you have been to tons of red carpets. You've been to so many.
Yeah, I know that body. And I'm literally about to make myself even more bloated tonight by eating more food. And I'm like, that body is everything. Ugh. I just love food.
I know it feels big when I got a potty. And it was just like, I did so good the whole 35 minutes. I was watching you. As soon as I got my ass on that carpet, my bladder said, hey, girl. I said,
not now.
Oh, not now.
Not now.
So, yeah, but I mean, that means it's good, though. I always got a potty when I'm nervous. So, I was a little bit nervous.
And I want to talk about your performance in 1001. Like, thank you. I watch it so many times. I watch it on the plane. I watch it in the theater. I watch it over and over and over. Tell me what you did to embody that character the way you did. It was show-stopping for sure.
Thank you so much, sis. Honestly, it was a lot of layering and a lot of
What movie is she in?
The layering, you know, Inez, yeah, she has a lot of layers with her. So we had to color coordinate it, and it was like a good shorthand for being on set, because you know how it go. We film out of order, so
of course.
One day, you know, she's getting that taxi, the next day she getting married, you know. So I think color coordinating and layering Inez was, you know, made the process really amazing, and it was really therapeutic.
Oh, I have no idea what that is.
There's some big awards in your future for that, for
you.
sure. Thank you so much for coming by. We're gonna party tonight. We're
And
gonna
yes,
have
for
fun.
your anchor voice.
You know I do many
girl
things.
ready to
You know I do many things.
Period. But I love the voice. The voice is voice.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Oh, she's so cute.
See you inside. All right, babe.
We've got more comments from our viewers watching online. At Ocean_Nessie says, the theme of this year's Met Gala is so good.
At Elham Mohammed says, Nicole Kidman wearing the original dress from her Chanel campaign, like you wish you could be her.
Full body chills. Make sure you keep the conversation on social media going with #MetGala. The theme's amazing. Tweet about it.
Yeah, cut the cameras away from her. I'm so hungry. I want food. Okay, we're going too far. Stop. I'm doing the TikTok trend that they play a video game and then they also do the... Excuse me. Oh my god. I'm so hungry and already exhausted. Like, It's my 1-year partnerversary. I'm ordering food.
The what? Oh, now we vamp? Oh.
I think we're vamping right now.
Okay. Wow, what a night. I have 2 words. Oh, a lot of cats.
Wow. Well played. Well punned.
Hey, well, I'm looking at Cardi B and I had to. It was bad, but I said
this
it anyway.
woman.
It's been nearly 2.5
This
hours
woman.
and my dogs are barking.
Oh my god.
Let's break down the cat.
Oh my
Doja Cat was
god.
Lil Nas X was a cat, and I'm told full body makeup by none other than Pat McGrath cat.
Oh my god.
Pat McGrath.
Pat McGrath
It's
cat.
late, guys.
Please stop.
He was a huge pussy. He was dressed in a full body.
Yes, he was.
Stop.
Yes, pussy
Stop.
cat, he
I gotta
was.
say,
Stop.
The cat and the
Stop.
cat
Yes, which we could do
are
for
absolutely
hours.
killing more cat
Oh my
puns.
god.
Kennel.
I can't.
Kennel.
Kennel. A kennel?
Stop.
Never too late for a kennel joke. The other big theme tonight, I have really liked, is all the black and white, the monochrome. That
Yes,
was obviously the way
yes.
Carl dressed. Reminds me a bit of Truman Capote's.
So is it done? Everybody's walked the carpet?
Yes, we go
That's
back
it?
in
Cardi
time.
was the end?
And the pearls. All the pearls were beautiful. The mother of pearls.
Is everyone still watching? Is everyone gorging on all the black and white looks? All
Gorgeous
Shut the fuck up.
Gina looks. Even I have my little cat here.
Yeah.
You had
Yeah,
to.
meow.
Meow.
Meow, cute of you.
Yes. Oh, here we go. Nicole
Oh.
Catman. Just kidding.
Oh.
Penelope Meow Cruz.
Right.
No.
No.
I know we should stop.
Okay.
But the fashion was really unbelievable.
You should.
And we're not drunk. We're completely sober as we're talking down these looks.
Believe it or not.
Believe it or not.
Well, we have more content for you. Don't go. Don't go. Chloe,
No.
what are we about to see?
We are about to see.
More from inside the making of this year's exhibition, Karl Lagerfeld, A Line of Beauty,
Which opens to the public.
The
Public on May 5th.
Okay, I just want to let everybody know that this is what happens when you book straight people for these gigs, and also they don't even care about the assignment. Like, I'm not even like, we love our straight allies, but like literally if you booked any queer person to do this, or you booked anybody that was maybe not like this run-of-the-mill, like heterosexual, whatever the fuck you want to call them, I don't even know who that man is. Like, he's probably queer too, but he's fucking annoying and really stupid. Like, I can't, like, if you would have booked anybody else for this gig, if you would have booked like Keke Palmer, if you would have booked fucking Lil Nas to do the red carpet, if you would have booked like somebody good to do the red carpet, opposed to, I can't. Like, I am literally, that was the most, I like kind of ruined the Met for me, if I'm honest. Like, literally ruined. Yes, remember when Monet and Peppermint were doing the carpet? Yeah, those commentators honestly ruined it for me. I'm gonna be very honest with you guys. Like, so cringe. Was that it though? Huh. My top looks are probably Janelle Monáe probably won for me. Second place, Cardi. Third place, Doja. Fourth place, Lil Nas. Fifth place, the Kardashians.
From outside, we unpack them and do a very thorough examination of them to make sure.
Where's the camera? Where I gotta look at? Hi
All right,
guys.
Look, you can see everything good.
Okay. This one? Look straight to this one? Oh, this one. Oh, right here. You look beautiful. You look sexy.
All right, so I'm here with none other than Cardi B, who just
I'm
killed
dead.
the red carpet.
Thank
Completely killed the
Thank
red carpet.
you.
Cardi, tell me about your look tonight, because this is intricate. This is so beautiful. Tell me about your look.
Thank you. Was from a designer called Ching Pang. This is my second look of the night, and it's giving a little bit of everything. Like if you see like the texture of this skirt, it's giving like a Chanel boy bag.
Absolutely.
And then it got the flowers, the camellia flower. That like, you know, when you get a Chanel purse, it always got the white flower, but you know this one is black. And then up top here is giving Carl. So I'm representing the house of Chanel and Carl at the same time.
I like how you broke that down, and I like how you did that.
Yeah, Janelle's was pretty stellar.
Galas at this point. What makes tonight so special?
What makes tonight so special? You know what it is too? That it's like a designer that like we know so much, we know so well, and then it's just like I was curious to see how people are gonna rock his design because everybody got like
their own interpretation.
Their own interpretation of how things supposed to look tonight. So yeah, I really like the looks for tonight. People killed it.
So Cardi at the Met Gala.
You guys keep saying Anne. Anne who? Anne.
The carpet.
The carpet.
Oh, I missed Anne. Anne Hathaway?
All the way up. This is the
Oh
last
my God!
I never
hope
saw
you
it.
passed the test,
I went to the
Once you
bathroom.
get on Instagram, that's when you know you passed the test.
That's when you know. That's when you know you passed the test. Go have a good time.
Thank you. You look beautiful. Oh yeah, we gotta talk.
Thank you. Yes, we do. Thank you, baby.
Okay. Oh, I almost buzzed my ass.
You good?
Thank you.
My stream just lagged. Okay, maybe if that could not install while I'm streaming. So the guy is Derek and is the head of the fashion beauty partnerships on YouTube. Right, so I'm not gonna get a beauty partnership on YouTube anytime.
So the carpet is winding down.
It is. It is.
This was kind of our first date, Chloe.
It really was.
How did it go?
It was our prom.
I'm done. No, you can stop.
Yes, yes.
Yes. Now,
Shut the fuck up. Shut up. I can't take you any longer. Yeah, okay. So I think the ones I said are my top picks. So we said Janelle, then Cardi, then Lil Nas, Kardashians, and Paris. I really liked Paris's. Maybe there was more, but I don't know. Yeah, that was kind of unbearable. These interviewers ruined any hype I had for the event, so they should never come back. Just my tea. Yeah, those are my top looks. Enjoyed the Met. Honestly, not a great Met compared to the other ones. I wish there were more looks and more people, but you know, it's this was a Met and we watched it. Anyways.